KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The Colorado House Committee hearing for the Fentanyl Accountability and Prevention Act saw more than 150 people sign up to testify, and it lasted until early this morning. The committee heard heartbreaking testimony from people who lost family members to fentanyl.
She should still be here. And because of the irresponsible and deceptive drug dealers, we as her family are left to pick up the pieces and care for her children.
The measure increases penalties for fentanyl dealers and also has money for fentanyl test strips, naloxone, and other prevention tools. Some who testified want stronger penalties for possession of fentanyl, while others don't want harsher criminal penalties for possession of small amounts of the drug. The Wheat Ridge Police Department says one of its officers was stabbed early this morning at the Prospect RV Park. Police responded to a call of a suspicious vehicle, and officials say an officer was stabbed by the driver of a stolen U-Haul. The officer was taken to the hospital and underwent surgery. The suspect was taken into custody by another officer at the scene. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.
An accident on Santa Fe right around Bellevue, actually just north of Bellevue, really tying up traffic now in both directions. So expect delay. Those southbound lanes of Santa Fe backed up all the way to Oxford, and northbound is backed up before you get to Bellevue. So expect that delay. Now, I-25 is looking good as you work your way past Santa Fe and into downtown. Things look good through the tech center and up through the north suburbs on I-25. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, a high of 43. Gusty winds expected today. An overnight low of 21 and then 56 for tomorrow. Currently, it's 27. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters. Shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
I bought my Ferrari without driving it. Yeah. I bought so many cars.
I have
There's health goals.
Nowadays,
then there's Grainberry's bowl goals.
I just say,
I eat a bowl of Grainberry bran flakes every morning because my bowl goal is to cut down on sugar. I eat a bowl of Grainberry cinnamon frosted shredded wheat every morning.
Does the 2-year thing. Maybe with this one I will because it's brand new and I could just keep getting new. Is that what you should think when you get something new?
It's all resale value. If you sell it, if you could, what's the warranty on it?
$448.
Yeah, so if you could sell it right at $336 or whatever, so you leave them a full year and 10,000 miles, they are so fucking easy to sell because there's no worry to anybody.
So you sell it on the open market or back to a dealer?
I never sell to dealers.
Yeah, because then
I didn't get any calls on mine.
Really?
No, I got calls. I mean, from dealers. But
you got to be very, and
here's the problem.
It's a pain in the ass, Doc. There's no.
Here's the problem with the G-Wagon. My G-Wagon at 2014 or 15 was selling.
Doc, I don't have headphones.
For as much here, for as much as they were, or for as much as they were selling brand new luxury cars. So why would people?
Yeah, I mean, you're in a high price market.
And you get a very discriminating pain in the ass buyer.
Yep.
Do you have an adapter?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are here to solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And I love Panacea Life Sciences for RealCBDThatWorks.com. Every morning when I take my CBD, it makes me feel great. Takes away pain and inflammation. Of course, Colorado Pain Care helped a long time ago, but Panacea keeps me out of pain. It's RealCBDThatWorks.com. They also have a cosmetic line with CBD. CBD is the new miracle herb. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom in the promo code, 30% off. Peter wants to talk about the HOA, sticking it to him. You know what I love about this show? You can vent. You can vent. And when you vent, it feels better, even if we can't do anything about it. Most of the time, though, we can help. Let's talk to Peter. Peter, what is happening with your HOA? And everyone else, you can call 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tell me how they're screwing you, Peter.
It's a special one, okay? I lived here 22 years, okay?
22 years. Where is here?
I'm about a mile up the road from you, just over the freeway on Monaco.
Okay, is that called, that's a nice area. What is that called?
This is called Southmore.
Okay, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I live here 22 years. No problems, anything. Below my unit is the garage exhaust fan, actually below my bedroom, okay? 22 years, it runs occasionally because it's the garage exhaust fan, okay? No problem, never have nothing.
So what is it that you're hearing?
Okay, wait, just let me finish.
All right.
Okay, so 1 month ago, my homeowner association decided to turn the fan on 100% of the time.
Now, is this a condo?
Yes.
And you've been there 22 years, and it's right near the garage. Now, why do they want the fan on 24 hours?
According to them, I have their emails, which I can send you all their BS emails. They say that people are smelling smells in the building, so therefore we have to have the garage fans on so that people don't smell smells in the building.
But is anyone else in that proximity where you are?
Yeah, there's only this whole smell thing has been going on for years with my neighbor. She constantly,
okay.
I smell something, I smell something.
But does she care about the noise? I guess what I'm asking, does anyone else care about the noise?
I'm the only one that's impacted by it. Nobody else.
Why?
Nobody. Why? What do you mean why?
Why are you the only one? Is it because all the other units are
hanging? Yeah, the fan is hanging from the concrete that's below my bed. Okay. Everybody else, they don't. Nobody else, and I've talked to my neighbors, and they're basically they won't talk to me anymore now because
how bad is it? Like how bad is it? Are you home right now?
And they're going to turn the fan on here again. See, now I've talked to them, and I've got them to shut it off. They're not running it 24 now. What they're doing is they're running it from 10 to 2:30 in the afternoon, where I work sitting right next to my bedroom. I'm working, so I get to listen to it for 4.5 hours.
Well, that's not bad, though. Is that the only time it's on?
But the thing is, it was never here before.
I understand that, bro, but it must have been on sometimes that they had it, right?
Right. It's an automatic system. It's a garage ventilation system.
No, I get it, but what you're saying is they run it constantly from 10 to 2:30. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, okay, but if you think about it, they probably picked the time in the middle of the day that most people are either out or at work. I mean, I couldn't think of a better time for it to run.
Okay, so let's stop and think about the logic behind this whole thing.
All right, go ahead.
These guys want to run the garage fan. Okay, the fan under me is the intake fan. The other end of the garage are the exhaust fans. Okay.
Why do they have an intake fan? For fresh air?
Because they've got to heat it because the garages have to not freeze in Denver.
Okay.
So therefore, they got an air intake and you got an air exhaust. Okay. So normally these fans all run at the same time. Okay. And so that way you don't even barely hear the fan below. But what they're doing is they're not running the exhaust fans. They're only running the intake fans only.
Well, that's stupid.
I know. So what they're doing is pressurizing the garage, which when you open the garage door to the building, what does it do? Forces all the stuff in the garage into the building. But what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish is to not get smells out of the garage in the building. That's what they're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
I can send you all these emails. I'll send you all these emails. It's hilarious.
So you don't mind them doing it. It's just they're doing it wrong.
I think that, well, first off, somebody should have communicated to me right at the very beginning what was going on.
Well, why?
The only way I found it, why should they communicate to me?
No, yeah, why? In other words, yeah, I guess I am saying that. Why do they need to communicate with you?
Because they're impacting me with this fan. And they know.
Oh, okay. You're the only one impacted.
That's right.
What do they say about that?
They said tough.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They didn't actually say tough.
Yeah, let's put it this way. You're the person that bought the unit over the fan. How's that?
Well, you didn't know you were buying a unit over a fan.
The thing is, yeah, because it didn't run. How the hell was I supposed to know when I bought this place?
Oh, man. So, Deputy Doc, what do you think we call over there? Just call over there and say, look, why? Now, tell me what the solution is. You haven't told me the solution.
The solution is to call the city, because what's happening with that garage ventilation, it's not up to code, okay? All the emergency lights in this building are on.
Just tell me what the solution is, bro.
The solution is for them to fix the system and put it back into the working order the way it was.
Which is what? Just tell me what it is.
That means the garage fan goes on about 15 minutes in the morning and about 15 minutes in the late afternoon, and that's pretty much it.
And that will do it?
This thing is only for ventilating the garage. It has sensors down there so that if it gets bad air, it's going to automatically turn on. So basically, you just ventilate the air. We have another garage, and that's what it does.
In other words, you want to leave it on automatic.
Yeah, exactly where it's supposed to be.
All right, hold on. You know what, Suze? At least, Doc, no matter what, if we put a phone call over there, let's just at least call for the guy and see what we can do to make some noise, and then maybe we'll run over there during the show and listen to this dang thing. You know, because it's on right during the show. Steve. What's up? Steve. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
So check it out. I was expecting a package through, I ordered something, golf bag, but they get a text message and said that it was failed to deliver, and I have Ring doorbell. I opened up Ring because I didn't get a message saying that somebody's at my door.
You know FedEx, right? It's FedEx, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm telling you something. FedEx has fallen down over the years, over the recent past, because I had a failed delivery and the guy never even was there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and then they give you a link to...
You got to go get it.
...delivery. And then they want your credit card and your address and your name and everything else. And I was like, no, I listen to Tom Martino.
Well, listen, as far as FedEx now, they're not going to hack you probably, but why do they want all that information if it's already paid for?
Well, they wanted a $1.99 redelivery fee.
Really? Now, when did they claim they were there?
9:56, and I checked my Ring. And there was my wife was at home. Nobody came to my door.
Did you call FedEx and tell them that?
No, I did not. I mean, this literally just happened right as the show was starting.
Listen, man, this is what you have to. This is what I did. I called and said, I have the records. I had the same thing happen, man. I have a Ring too, and I said, there's no delivery attempt at all. The guy's scamming you. Now, sometimes they have independent contractors, but listen, if you call them, they will make good on it. Because I just had it happen, and if you just have to tell them that with your Ring evidence. See, nowadays, people aren't getting away with stuff like that. But isn't that weird? You know, I had a guy. Now, I had two of them. This is the one with the Ring and the FedEx. I had another one who said that my mailbox was full. He couldn't deliver it. And I had ordered, what was that I had ordered? Oh, I know what it was. It was like a massage table I ordered. I don't want to get into it. But anyway, so it was big. The guy would have had it got out and put it at my door. Instead, he said the mailbox was too small. Now, what kind of a moron expects you to get a parcel delivery in your mailbox? And then I had to go to the post office and pick it up. But as far as FedEx goes, I don't know what's going on lately, but these failed delivery notices, you're not the only one. And I think if you call and confront them, I think they're going to take care of it for you. But call us back, and we'd be happy to help you after you make your initial call. Mark?
We had our Franktown post office leave us a letter one time saying your 50-pound bag of dog food won't fit in your mailbox.
I know. That's the new thing. I mean, it used to be when you had a parcel, they left it on the porch or at the door, right?
Yeah, well, they started to now.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, give us a call, 303-713-TALK. I'm going to get to all of you. It doesn't fit in your mailbox. It's not working, the button. Want me to do a spot? Sheridan Auto Tech. I love Uncle Kevin. Now, let me tell you about Sheridan Auto Tech. Basically, it is a repair shop, right? Except one thing. They treat you like family. Uncle Kevin's been there. That's why I call him Uncle Kevin. It's kind of like a joke. Seriously. He's been there for 22 years, thousands of satisfied customers, and like I like to say, everything you want in an auto repair facility. So what do you want? Well, first of all, longevity is nice to know they're part of the neighborhood, both in Lakewood and Aurora. Plus, you want honesty, experience, of course, knowledge, convenience, and value. Can you think of anything else? Of course not. They even do electrical repairs and any other maintenance. SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242.
For over 150 years, CIB.
From where they are to where they want to be. From meeting
You know, I don't mind doing commercials right up front, unless we're not allowed to. I think it keeps the listener better.
Tom, what's that number for Sheridan Auto Tech?
Testing my memory. I just had I'll get it. 303-455-7242.
I need an oil change.
They're good people.
Yeah, I know. After my car got stolen, they did a couple of things.
What's going on?
To fix it.
Do you want me to come back?
There's a and I so trust the team at Aspen. It's acting so bad that I wouldn't trust it. It's to my family's dental care. Well, by now it's because of our personal experience with Drs. Yaros, Augustine, Son,
Yaros,
and especially Dr. Dan Zeppelin. They've done tremendous work, including an implant for my.
Yep, look at that. Governor Abbott buses migrants to Texas border.
But even before our experience,
That is so cool.
It is fucking cool.
Hundreds of glowing reviews and more than a dozen.
They're like, we don't know if he's even legally can do that. It's like, what does that even mean?
What's that, Mark?
Bus illegal immigrants to the White House. Fucking guy.
I love it. What's illegal about it?
I don't know. They said I've heard a couple people say we don't even know if he has the authority to do that. I mean, I guess if he held him at gunpoint and made him get on the bus, he might be pushing it. But I mean, if he's like, here's $100, but we got to bring you to the White House.
Or you can't stand here.
Hey, can Garrett do Zoom? Can Garrett from 888 do Zoom? Do you know? Okay.
So listen to this.
What do you mean, do Zoom? I don't know. He wants to meet with me, so I mean, I don't know. Okay, let me see.
I just meet with him.
Where is he?
I don't know. I hate to say it. I've met him one time in my life.
So listen to this, Mark. I had some people come over yesterday.
Marketing.
Yeah, no.
So I had some people come over yesterday.
Yeah.
I left the garage open so they could come in through the garage. Somebody reached in and stole my driver and my putter from my golf bag.
That's fucking incredible.
Like that.
Are you shitting me?
No.
From where?
From my garage. I kept it open because the way my apartment is set up, it's 10 times easier to come in through the garage.
Does Nico and Dima have a door, a doggy door? No.
Because wildlife would get in.
Oh man, and our cats would get out.
Remember the guy who complained on Genesis Solar about the panels got put on the wrong side of the house?
No, I don't remember technically, but go ahead.
It was just a couple weeks ago or a month ago, so I think we had Mark on about it. Anyway, the guy is back on. It failed inspection this morning, and now he's going to be another month without his solar.
This is Joe Cordell with
Do me a favor.
Cordell
And tell him we'd be happy to have him on the air, but let's call Mark first.
Yeah.
And tell Mark it doesn't have to go on the air if he can give us an answer. I mean, it's not if he's been on already, okay? But we need to get this solved.
You're not going to be able to use spots for him. Okay, I was going to say you're going to open up a can of fucking worms from the other room.
Oh,
blow your mind away.
No, I can't. The Plumline and them own everything. But he's doing an ingenious campaign.
Don't trust big media. Now the source to trust is News.
And he's going to be on the show with it.
Made the switch, and now
Here's what I'm doing.
Just be real careful.
Mark, this is totally within my purview. We have a badge on the front. And he snatched it before anyone. First come, first serve. He said, I'm in. It's a badge. It's available to anyone. And it says, look for so-and-so's coupon inside for your chance to win $500 in gas.
What's going on? Why do we have dead air like every 30 seconds?
And it's dead, too.
I'm Tom Martino, 303.
What does the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared?
Little commercial dies.
And I'm trying to get a hold of the basement. It's just freezing between spots. Yard.com.
You probably got to look at your mug. Ah! That's cool. $500.
Well, hold on. So look, it says look for the coupon inside for your chance to win. So they scan a QR code
And it goes there. So fucked up. We're not going to have a show soon.
And more.
And so people zoom, and if they're a winner, they're a winner. But guess what? They first go into a bid, and I'm going to pick him on the show once a month, and he's going to be here. But you're going to do it with him too, because he likes you. But would that be cool?
Fuck, he said it was the best campaign he ever fucking did. He was not fucking a happy camper.
Well, Mark, I can tell you some shit. If you turn off that thing.
Kill the...
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Frank Duran, the real estate man. Don't forget market analysis of your home if you're looking to list or you're looking to fix it up and you want to know, should I fix it up? Is it going to sustain the value? Frank Duran will do a free market analysis. Now, this is a true in-depth analysis of your home and what it will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And when I say the best in the business, he just is. I'm sorry, he is. And there's stats to prove it. Kevin has a comment on that HOA and the fan. The guy's condo is near the garage, right over the garage, and they have that fan going. Now, he said 24/7, but then he amended it. Now they're running it from 10:30 to 2 or 10 to 2. I don't think that that's terrible, but he says it just makes a humming noise and all that. What do you have to say, Kev?
Well, back in the day, I used to design those kind of systems with carbon monoxide sensors.
Yeah.
And they're kind of expensive. And when they wear out, some of these owners will put that back on a time clock, just figuring they're going to pick out a good time to turn the fan on and off, which is the manual. You talked about automatic. So let's say they do have an auto sensor on there at one time. It could have been broken, or maybe they just disabled it. Who knows? But it depends on how big the garage is, too.
You know what? That is a good point. It could just be a lack of frickin' maintenance.
Yep.
Okay. And so those are normally automatic, right?
Correct. It depends a lot on the city code and the size of that garage.
What does it sniff out the CO2 or something, Kevin?
Correct.
So it turns on only when it needs to. Thank you. Thank you. 303-713-TALK. Roger. What's going on, Roger? Roger?
Yes, Tom.
What's happening?
My call.
What's going on with your truck?
Well, I've got an interesting challenge for you.
Go ahead.
So there's these companies. There's Too Simple, and it's spelled T-U, simple. There's Waymo. There's Plus. And what they're doing is they're currently running autonomous trucks in Arizona between Phoenix and Tucson.
Really? Right now they are?
Yes, between Dallas and Fort Worth. I mean, completely autonomous, no one in the truck at all.
All right, so Too Simple's one of them. What's the other company? Look it up, Mark.
Waymo.
Waymo.
And Plus.
And Plus. Just Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? How does this affect
Plus
us?
AI or something.
Okay.
So, because right now the trucks are not equipped to actually drive through the city and handle the stoplights and all the turns and backing into a dock and all.
Yeah.
So what they do is basically they run down the interstate and they get to to their destination. They pull off the interstate and they make the turn into a yard, and then the human takes over.
Okay.
And I've talked to FMCSA, and they say there is currently no federal regulations either way regarding autonomous trucks. So I was thinking if I could get me an autonomous truck.
Yes.
I think it was Plus. They have a YouTube video. I think they say it costs them about $30,000 to retrofit a truck.
Keep dreaming.
Wait. I like dreaming. Keep going.
So if I could get me an autonomous truck, I could, for example.
No, Mark. He's saying $30,000 add-on to the truck.
No way.
What do you mean, no way?
Just the cameras you would have to have on a semi truck to run it down the highway would be way more.
Cameras aren't expensive.
Okay.
Mark, I don't know how much it costs, but $30,000 in today's world of technology doesn't sound terrible if it's already developed.
I would say the average Tesla Model S has probably about $60,000 to make it drive down the highway, let alone a semi-truck.
Mark, it doesn't have $60,000 worth of technology. Because, no, what you're saying is to develop a prototype would have hundreds and hundreds of thousands, but then there's economy of scale. They couldn't sell that car. They can't sell the
now to make a
Mark,
car drive by itself.
You're telling me the cost of a Model S Tesla, $30,000 of it is technology, in the base cost of a Tesla that sells for $95,000.
Yeah, and probably the rest is a battery.
There's just no way. Listen, keep going, and let's hear what you have to say. So let's just say you can retrofit a truck for a reasonable amount, then what?
So then, for example, it takes 5 days to go from Pennsylvania to Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, but what do you do for gas?
Well, I would.
It's got enough. It's got enough tech for $30,000 to pull over and gas.
No, it can't gas up.
Right. No, what I would do, because the ones that are running now, they do have a human involved that handles that. So what I would do is I would be in the truck. So I would go load up freight, get out on the highway, set it for autonomous, and let for the next 1,500 miles to a planned fuel stop.
Okay.
Set my alarm and everything, and just set the cruise at 55 and just let it go. And I could sleep and do whatever. So I'd be like a team operation, but I'd be a solo individual. And I could go from Pennsylvania to Seattle in 2 days. I could almost triple my income by doing that. So then I would get up, about an hour before the truck is going to reach its fuel destination. Then I would take over, take the exit, pull in, get fuel, get back on the highway, and set it again, and just let it do its thing.
Okay.
And
okay, let me. This is according to Wired.
80% of the cost of an autonomous truck is software.
Mark,
80%.
Mark, this is what it says in Wired. I don't know. It says $30,000 can retrofit a truck to be autonomous. Now, I'm not reading the details. I'm on the air. A startup is developing Okay, hold on. They're developing a startup kit. This is a startup company. A $30,000 retrofit kit. Okay, and it says to make any truck built since 2013 autonomous. But it's not out yet, to be fair. That's not out yet. Listen, I'm not saying, Mark, that it's going to cost $30,000, but what I'm saying is technology is not as expensive as it used to be. Now, software development, very expensive.
That's it. It's who owns that software. You'd have to license it.
Of course.
It's not going to be $30,000.
Well, I don't know about that. Think about Microsoft. Think about all the licensing of software, the economy of scale. You develop it once. Once you develop it, to replicate it is not the expense. That's the wonderful thing about technology. The cost is in the research and development, not in the replication. Now, however, with autonomous cars and trucks, there would be a hell of a lot of expense in the actual retrofitting, because in addition to the technology, for God's sakes, you have to have a center of qualified technicians to install and program. So, look, I'm not going to argue as to whether it's $30,000 or $50,000, but whatever it is, who cares? If it could be done, is it a good business model? Of course it would be a great business model to go coast to coast, and you simply get in there. I wonder, though, if what's the transport? DOT. But what is the highway safety traffic or whatever? I'm wondering if it would still, with a CDL sitting in there, if you'd still be limited to the number of hours you can drive. Hold on, we'll explore. He could still be limited, even though he's saying, I'm not driving.
Right.
He's responsible. You know, autonomous driving is a major. But, Mark, I'm saying in the unit that you buy, there's not $60,000 paid for that fucking software. They couldn't sell it for $90,000.
I'm saying if you or me wanted to turn our Chevy, Chevy Equinox into a fully,
it would be a lot of money.
Tesla would charge us a fucking fortune.
That's right. But their unit cost is not $60,000 a unit. Jesus Christ!
I don't know how they break down their shit.
They say, man, that there are a lot of self-driving right now, but they're all in a beta.
Put one on your RV, Mark. I mean, that's what the Hellcat wants you to do.
I just can't. I mean, this guy, what a pipe dream. 30 grand, he can.
No, he read that on that company doing that.
Oh.
You know, if you look it up,
I would literally do it right now, just like you said on that.
Retirement planning, what the heck does it mean? It's more than investing. It's more than insurance. It's more than any one item. Retirement planning has a number of prongs. The Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies likes to call it the 5 pillars. Okay, you got to plan for income, and then managing investments, and then minimizing taxes, getting health care, even long-term care, and then your legacy to pass on. That's what they do. They take a look at your retirement plan and do all of it. Okay, rpcenter.com. They help coordinate your 401ks or your SEPs or your pensions, or they help you with investments. Now, you can even use your own people for other things, but they can help coordinate it. They will be transparent on how they charge you and why they save you money in each and every case, upfront, fully approved by you. Call them first, meet with them first as many times as it takes to be comfortable. rpcenter.com, the company that I'm depending on to coordinate my retirement, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. That's rpcenter.com. They're trusted, family-owned and operated, a dad, son, and son-in-law, plus their staff of professionals. 970-663-3211, rpcenter.com. Hey, I love ColoradoPainCare.com. Why? Because that's where I found out I could be out of pain. Colorado Pain Care has clinics around Denver and office hours, clinic hours from 7 to 7 for your convenience. They have a number of different treatment options, plus physical therapy. The important thing is that you can get in there, even same-day appointments for urgent cases. 303-GOT-PAIN. That's 303-GOT-PAIN. Why is Douglas County calling?
School?
Oh, shit. Yes.
The only thing worse than having Biden would be if Kamala took over. That would be so scary.
I wonder how that works with insurance, too. if that truck fucking kills 15 people.
Oh, that's right.
Free live webinar this Saturday morning at 9. Sign up at 525
Douglas County. Why would Douglas County call me twice? School. No, they're in a private school.
Is it in Douglas County?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's private or not. If it's like a lockdown or something, they
No, that's not it. So.
See, I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
No, it's not that. There's something else.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses.
Warner Brothers defends cutting gay dialogue for China. So when Warner Brothers does a movie in China,
medicine, it's more like plumbing.
They can't talk about gay people.
Powered suction to pull saline in one nostril.
But that's fine. That's no problem for that.
And multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better,
You know what? If everyone just let everyone live their fucking lives, we wouldn't even have any of this discussion.
Yeah, well,
easy to use.
I don't bother nobody.
At Novage.com.
I think it's absurd. Like in New Jersey, they're going to start teaching kids 6 years old and under
They can choose their gender.
that they can choose their gender. That is fucking asking for failure.
I know you're not ready for that decision.
You're barely ready to hold a hot dog.
And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but new rules.
When's the first you remember in school? I think 7th grade, they brought the boys in one room, the girls in the other, and had the talk.
Right.
That's about the age I remember.
Yeah, that's about right. But, you know, this law that they just passed in Florida is a great idea. Nothing before the 3rd grade.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, you've heard me talk about Public Adjusters. Claims Pro is one of the public adjusters we endorse. If you're looking for help with an insurance claim to make sure you're treated fairly with your insurance company, no matter what it is, publicadjuster.pro, also on our referral list, Claims Pro. Call Peter, 833-252-4600, 833-252-4600. That's Claims Pro, publicadjuster.pro. Listen, you know, this autonomous truck thing, I'm getting a lot of comment on. And this $30,000 price tag was a proposal. A company said they're working on a kit that would do it, and that doesn't include labor. But the cost is not significant. Let's just say even if you could do it for $100,000 and bought a semi, is it practical to have one of those and own them? I think people are going to own them all day long. But there's so many things to be worked out at this time, Roger. I think it's very premature. But and I don't know how they're going to work with CDLs. If you have a commercial driver's license sitting in there for 24 hours, you're limited to how much you can drive.
How about insurance? How's that going to work?
Yeah, I mean, so...
Right, but you wouldn't be driving. It would be just like an actual team operation. One driver, so you would log out of your log, and then you would log the truck in.
No, I get what you're saying, Roger. If the government lets you. I mean, there are no logical rules right now or regulations regarding autonomous trucks.
And it's all going to be the scale anyhow. I love what he's saying, but really, let's think about it. The big trucking companies, once that's available, are still going to own the entire market. They're still going to be 100% the individual operators. I mean, they're just going to be huge. Walmart's going to own the industry.
But here's the deal, Roger. Theoretically, what you're saying is doable. People will buy a truck that's autonomous or retrofit it, and there'll be a way for them to put it out for hire. Why not? I mean, you'll be an owner-operator.
So my question for you is, see, I went on one of those companies and I filled out there's a little contact information you send to them, and they reply back saying, well, if you're media, and, you know, unless you're a media outlet, you know, disregard the email and communication.
All right,
my
send
question
us.
would be is, could you guys,
all right,
through media relations, contact them and find out,
all right,
could I buy a truck and bring it in?
good.
Or
Here's
could they buy
what
a
we'll
truck
do.
and
It's a good topic for Car Day. Suze, why don't you have him email or forward you that email from the company, and then we'll try to get him on for a Car Day. That would be a great idea. Hang on, 303-713-TALK. What's going on with Allstate, Robin? What's happening?
Oh, my goodness. Last September, I got in a head-on collision with a young man heading to college and totaled my car, front end, both of us, front end. Went to the hospital. I was okay. I thought I broke my arm, but it wasn't broke. I have been dealing with Allstate for the last 7 months. They do not contact me. They don't call me.
Is Allstate your company or their company?
No, it's their company. I finally, after a week of not being able to them to respond to me, I used my own insurance, which was State Farm. Within 3 days, they had a check written for me for my car because I just went ahead and used my deductible. And then they said the rest is going to be on Allstate, and you'll have to go through them for the rest of it because we totaled your car.
What do you mean the rest of it?
Fine.
Hold on. Wait, Robin, what do you mean the rest of it?
All my medical expenses.
Wait, hold on.
Include.
You don't have medical payments?
What do you mean I don't have? I went to the hospital to check my arm out to make sure it wasn't broken.
Okay, Robin, hold on. Robin.
Yes, I have my own insurance.
Robin, when your own insurance covers the damage to the car, that's one thing. But there's also coverage called MedPay. And unless
I do not have that.
You specifically turned down MedPay.
I don't have that because I have pretty good health insurance. If
Okay,
I were to
got
get
it.
in my own
It would have cost you, by the way, it would have cost you probably an extra $25 to $50 to cover a massive amount of medical bills with no deductibles and no feature to pay them back. In other words, it's the best coverage you can buy. But that's okay. I'm doing that for people listening. Whether you have health insurance or not, everyone should have MedPay. Now let's talk about you don't have MedPay. So now let's talk about that. So you're wondering, what do? You sue for, like you would, you go to an attorney, a personal injury attorney like John Fuller, and you sue him. And it's a personal injury lawsuit.
The medical is not the issue. They paid my medical bills. One of them went to collections because they waited so long to pay it. And then they refused to pay for my rental car.
Okay.
They told me the whole time that I had to pay it up front.
Robin,
and that they would
do you have rental car coverage with your own policy?
I do, and they covered it up to the time that the car was totaled.
Okay.
And then they said I had to go
Robin,
through Allstate for the rest of it.
Here's what you're under. Here's the mistake you're making, and it's not a big one, but it's a mistake everyone makes. You're assuming the other insurance company is your insurance company and they care about you, or that they care about their insured and will do the right thing. None of those things are true. The insurance company for the other party.
Put me back to whole again. They don't have to put me back to the way I was before.
Robin, what I'm saying is they don't want to put you back and have no obligation to treat you as if you're a client. They will ignore you. So what you need to do, two things. You either need to hire an attorney to go after their asses for all of your economic losses and personal injury, or
they paid that.
Or you sue. I'll let you let me know when you want to hear, and I'll tell you exactly what to do. Okay? Because, Robin, I've handled thousands of these cases, thousands of them, and there's only two ways to handle it. Only two ways. Okay? There's only two ways. Whether we like it or not, there's only two ways. One is to put in a claim with their insurance through a lawsuit and a personal injury attorney. The second one is to go after the other driver directly. And if it's under $7,500 you're seeking, you can do that in small claims court. You do not deal with the other party's insurance company ever. They're not your insurance company, and they will never treat you fairly.
I was just going off of what my insurance company told me to do, and I'm only dealing with $900. They have paid, Allstate has paid everything except my rental fees on my car.
Did you use your own insurance out of curiosity when it came to your health insurance?
Yes, she did.
So all the money she got from that company, they're going to subrogate for. I hope she gets that.
Listen.
Allstate paid all the insurance. They paid all the medical bills.
Good.
They just sent it to collections.
Good.
It's a bit too long, but
All
I got
right.
that taken
I get
care
it, Robin. I get it.
They're just saying they won't pay my rental fee, and I don't
Robin,
understand why.
Robin,
Yes,
because
I know.
they don't want to. Because insurance companies are scum. Okay? Even your company is scum. You have a terrible company. Allstate's a terrible. You want to know the top 5 worst companies? Farmers, Allstate, State Farm, American Family, and Fred Loya. The worst companies you can have. So listen, here's what's happening. They're telling you to go after the other company, but that other company is not going to voluntarily pay. What you need to do is file a lawsuit in small claims court against the other driver. And no matter how much that company yells and screams, we're not paying it, you say, I don't care. That guy cost me money, and I'm suing him directly. I don't have a contractual obligation with you, and I don't have to argue with you, Allstate. I'm going after your insured, and you will win.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Blindster.
Delay trying to get into downtown on northbound I-25. There's
Well,
a crash.
why do they call up and ask for your opinion and they don't listen? That's what amazes me.
Lots of those center lanes to be blocked again, northbound I-25 between Alameda and Nix Avenue. The rest of your I-25 drive in pretty good shape. There's an accident on Santa Fe affecting both directions in the Littleton area between Bellevue and Oxford. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, a high of 43 today, and gusty winds expected this afternoon. An overnight low of 21 and then 56 for the high tomorrow. Currently it's 33. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Code radio at checkout. Blindster.com.
Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan is not just an expression, it's a reality. Ideal will give you an interest rate guarantee, so you take advantage of rates now. Yeah, I know they're a little higher than you expected, but if and when they go down, you get refinanced free of charge, but at least you freeze things in place in case you have to pay off high interest debt or anything else. You can pull cash out if your home has appreciated. Let Ideal walk you through the process. First they listen, then they lend at idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000. Ideal has a number of things that are advantageous to you. First, the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. If you're out shopping for a home right now, you get pre-approved and you can close within days, put you at par with a cash buyer. They also have pick your own term loan, so you don't have to go back to 15 or 30. You can pick whatever term you want. They have, of course, credit optimization, which helps you get better pricing. Call for details, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Now, let's talk about John Fuller. That woman just had an accident. She's wondering what to do. Had she called John Fuller, she would have gotten information directly from John Fuller. Why? Because John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, and it's a firm that is small by design. What I mean by that is they give you personalized attention where you're not just a number. Don't be fooled by giant firms bragging about how big they are, because the bigger they are, the smaller you are to them. John Fuller's staff is fully able to work with you directly, with John overseeing every single case. He even gives you his cell phone number. My accident lawyer on this show can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co. That stands for Colorado, myaccidentlawyer.co, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. If you're looking for roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, decks, painting, even fencing, Genesis Total Exteriors is there for you. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, where you can get all of your insurance damage, for example, if you had any from storms and stuff, on one invoice dealing with one company, or you can go for any home improvements on the outside of your home to GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509.
The new.
No, how's he working on it? And so that guy, that 30,000, would have to be self-insured for millions.
Or was he a political pawn in a Cold War operation?
Over there, yeah.
All that means is there's just a few more years
over the
out.
speaker. I can hear you over the speaker.
What'd you say? All that means is just a few more years out before it's feasible. Eventually everything else.
Oh, no. I have no doubt. But a guy like that with $30,000 ain't going to be part of it. I don't know how else to put it. He can't self-insure a bond of $5 million right now.
I'm trying to find out why it failed. Said he'd get back to me. I said I have to call her
Well,
holding.
then why does he have to stay on fucking hold? We'll call
I
him
thought
back.
you wanted him to stay till we got an answer from Mark.
Yeah,
Tom.
no, if we could get an answer. But if the answer is we're checking it out, well, then tell him we'll call him back, okay?
All right.
Yeah, so what they're saying is, check it out. The manufacturer is going to ultimately be the insured on something that's autonomous. So if the driver's in there, it would fall down on the driver. If not, it would fall down on the autonomous part.
Hello, this is Doc.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, I spoke with you yesterday. I was actually waiting for you to call me back. This is Jimmy Connell with the 2006 Yukon.
Yeah, I'll give you a call after the show, Jimmy.
Okay.
Well, maybe he wants to come on the show.
No, I'm working on it with him.
Yeah, that'd be curious, because then what? Like Tesla, for example, has to build insurance costs into the price of the vehicle then, no matter what. Really, if you think about it right now, if you summon your car and the car's driving itself, you're not in it, and it runs over someone and kills them, whose fault is that?
You called out.
Well, I don't know. Does that mean, does my insurance right now, I want to ask Brian, I wonder if my insurance right now covers me, my liability, when I'm not in the fucking car. You follow what I'm saying? Because I've never heard of anything like that.
With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need.
Damn, he's not answering.
Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews.
That's the question. If you're not in the car, if you're not in control,
whose fault is it?
Whose liability? Fuck fault.
Well, right.
Who has? No, fuck even that question. Does my insurance cover me? Let's say it is my liability, but if I'm not in the car, does my insurance company?
Right, it's a great question.
Cover me, or am I wiped out?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter,
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for all your garage door needs, whether it be an opener, a whole door, a panel, hinges, cables, whatever it is. They have all of their prices listed on their website for garage door stuff. One ClearChoiceDoors.com, 720-370-3987 with 24/7 service for emergencies. 720-370-3987. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, including they have these new time to close features that automatically close the door if you forget to, battery backups, and apps to open and close your phones. You don't need openers anymore. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Mark, so back to the autonomous truck.
I was thinking of something. Let's not go down the road to where we're not yet. But right now, on certain Teslas, for example, and probably other cars, it can go find a parking spot, park itself, and then pick you up in front of the restaurant.
That's right.
Yeah. So if I summon the vehicle and the vehicle backs up and runs over a 2-year-old kid and kills him, couple questions. One, am I liable because I summoned it? But more importantly...
Yeah, you're liable, I would say. It's your car.
I would say, but does my insurance company right now, the policy I have or you have right now, cover a vehicle with no driver.
Let's call Compass Insurance Group and ask them.
Isn't that nuts?
We should call Compass and ask them.
And
seriously.
what I'm reading about the trucks for that guy that called in, what they're eventually thinking of is the insurance problem. Because if you're not in the vehicle or in charge of the vehicle rolling down the road, they have to be able to sue someone. That would be the manufacturer. So the manufacturer will eventually build in the insurance cost to everybody that uses the technology.
Tom, what's going on with Discount Tire? Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good. Hey, we're going into a break, but I'm going to take you next. What is the problem dealing with? The product, the service, or what?
The service.
Okay. So we're going to call. Which Discount Tire is it?
No, you don't have to call them. I just want to get advice on a potential problem.
Oh, hey, you hold on, and we'll come right back to you. I'm Tom Martino, talking about Discount Tire Plus. Anything else you want to talk about?
They're pretty good guys.
I've been using Discount since I moved to Denver. They're great.
I've never had any issues.
Oh, they're fantastic. At least the one on Parker and Islet is great.
Businesses provide tax revenue and they
Sarah is my driver. Sarah.
Business is a force for good in Colorado, and we should never forget that. Learn more about the mission of the Colorado Business Roundtable.
Hi, and welcome to Sheridan Auto Tech. Press 1 for our Lakewood store, or press 2 for our Aurora store.
Carry your furnace and AC, $4 a day or $96 a month.
Thanks. Your call is being transferred now.
Not when you get a new system for just $96 a month. Castle Rock to Longmont. Longmont's got you covered. Earning your trust since 1998. Service at home. Servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call. No hassle. No wait.
That call and just being an ex-tire girl, I think I know the answer.
What's that?
But he said they only gave him 3 of his 4 old tires back, and I bet it's because the 4th one was really bad. And they can't legally get it back, right?
No, they can legally give it back. If he asked for it, fuck yeah, they can give it back.
Oh, well, that's the question. He's just
They might
wondering
have
if that's...
just used pure logic and said no one would want this.
Yeah, that was just like, is it kosher for Discount to do that?
Was that when he was going to have to put it back on?
I think he was having different tires put on, and they only gave him 3 of his old tires back. So that's his
But
question.
if he wanted to recycle or something, that should be up to him.
Mark Shemansky says, we don't have the results yet and why it failed. I'd rather find out first before I go on the radio. Yeah. So, yeah, just...
Well, what's he going to say now? There's nothing to say. I'm looking into it. Does my auto insurance cover?
Hi, and welcome to Sheridan Auto Tech. Press 1 for our Lakewood store, or press 2 for a time in the van.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York. Police have stepped up patrol at public
Your call is being transferred
is
now.
pledging another $750 million in military aid for Ukraine, including heavy artillery. Also today, leaders from the 8 top U.S. weapons makers will be at the Pentagon to discuss their ability to meet Ukraine's weapons needs. This is ABC News. Severe weather sweeping across the middle of the country. A tornado touching down in northern Iowa and in central Texas with force of at least 2 twisters. An apology from the British Prime Minister over COVID lockdown rules.
The dilemma, the man who was behind the lockdown rules ignored them by attending at least one party at his London residence. Forced Johnson pressing after paying the police fine.
In all sincerity, that people have the right to expect better. And now I feel an even greater sense of obligation to deliver.
Did you read about this shooter on the subway train? He apparently set off smoke bombs and then just started shooting randomly.
Oh, he's a nut.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrorist. I think he's a nut.
Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
He has a bunch of shit up about how he hates the subway on his Facebook. I mean, this guy is infatuated by the subway system, and that is not normal.
Hello?
Unless you design it.
Hello?
Hey, John. Hey, Mark. Hey, real quick, man, just, I don't know if you've come across this, but if you summons your car in a parking lot like a Tesla, you're not in it at all, and the fucking thing runs over somebody or something, does your insurance even kick in because no one's in the car? I mean, do you have any idea about this shit?
Or press 2 for our Aurora store.
Yeah.
How would you recognize them? Would you know
I'm just curious, like, if I'm not in my vehicle and no one is, and, you know, I'm summoning it, or the valet is summoning it. Yeah, I don't want to get too technical on it, but do you think my progressive, because I'm the one summoning.
K-How News Time, 11:03.
Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience. All of our representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative.
Taking further input before making a decision on this sometime the last week in April.
Salomon has been leading the school since prior President Mark Kennedy resigned last June. Prior to that, Kennedy had been censured by the CU faculty for its handling of issues such as equity and diversity. It was a record-breaking morning in Denver with a low of 10 degrees at the airport, breaking the record low for the state of 15 degrees. It will be much cooler today than a normal high of 61 degrees.
Temperature stayed in the mid-40s. Most of the sunny skies and wind is sitting around with gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Overnight down into the mid-20s and still breezy for your Thursday, but a little warmer in the upper 50s with 60s back by the weekend.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Kylie Burris. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer. Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Blindster.
Delay on northbound I-25 this check trying to get into downtown. Slow traffic starting just past University, and this because of an accident northbound I-25 between Alameda and 6th Avenue, clearing off the center lanes of I-25. So that is our one big delay right now on the metro area highways. For the most part, traffic moving along quite well. There is a crash of Santa Fe between Bellevue and Oxford, affecting both directions. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a high of 43 today and gusty winds. Tonight, low 21, and then 56 for the high tomorrow. Currently, it's 35. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30, K-How.
Need new shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code radio at checkout. Blindster.com.
No one appreciates the American dream as much as Romanian immigrant Mitch Floria. Here, with just $300 in his pocket, started Art of Granite, now serves the entire Front Range and mountain communities. A direct stone importer who passes wholesale prices on to his customers for all countertops, completed in just 2 weeks, including quartz. Bathroom free when you have the kitchen done, tear out and haul away free. Get a price on the phone, 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
I am Eva Longoria, and I am so excited to share my new podcast with you. It's called Connections.
Everybody's got.
What is the true meaning of connection? And how can true, authentic connection influence your life today? How should we connect?
Everybody's got it.
Money, politics,
Got what?
jobs, news, spirituality. How can we connect better with our spirits? Listen to Connections with Eva Longoria on the iHeartRadio.
Everybody's got a podcast.
The Dan Kaplan Show.
There's millions of them.
Wednesday,
Millions.
How did people that tank Colorado this quickly? New data showing more people leaving the state than are moving in here. How did that happen? How do we fix it? And what's Colorado going to look like?
That's pretty incredible. If Colorado is having a negative population, that's really a big change in the past. In the past several years.
Costs too much to live in the only metro city we got. Costs too much to live in Denver.
Maybe.
Ain't enough people in the rest of the state.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Mile high income city.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Garage Magic. If you want a beautiful garage floor, beautiful, 21-year guarantee, done by employees, not subcontractors, and a local company that you know and trust, Garage Magic, polyaspartic, which is better than epoxy. It is an incredible floor for pool decks, garages, patios, walkways. GarageMagic.com. 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME. Welcome to the show. Now, Tom has an issue with Discount Tire. What he said is he was going to get new tires. Sue's told me a little. And then you were expecting your old tires back. And what happened, Tom?
Yeah, hi, Tom. So back in December, I put 4 snow tires on my car and did what I had to do. And then last week, I wanted to get the snows back off. So I didn't go back to Discount Tire. I went to Costco to have them put my summers on.
But the 4 snow tires you bought from Big O?
No, Discount.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Discount. Okay. Yeah. And then what?
So, and back in December, when they put the snows on, they put my 4 summer tires in bags and put them in my car. I took them and put them in my basement until last week. So I go to Costco to put my summer tires back on, and there's 4 tires that I gave to Costco, and then they call me and they say, hey, you've got 2 different size tires here. So I said, that's interesting. So what Discount did, they must have made a mistake. They gave me 3 of my original summers, but 1 different sized tire.
Why did they give you a different size tire?
I'm sure it was on accident, but the problem is it's 6 months ago.
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
The detail.
Hold on. Mark, what did you say?
I'm sure it was on accident. They probably grabbed someone else's tire there, accidentally bagged it up. But the problem is it's 6 months ago or whatever the time frame is.
So, Tom, do they admit...
So they're good.
Tom?
Yes.
Do they admit the mistake?
Yes, but that's what I want to know, because I know Mark's a tire guy. So it's a 2-wheel drive. If there's different, if they give me a new tire, doesn't that affect the drivability of the car?
Yes.
Did you say it's all-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
2-wheel drive.
In most cases, Tom, it's not going to affect it that much.
If the tread is not that worn on the other ones, it's a differential of and the drive tires have to be identical. So just make sure 2 identical tires are on the drive side, on the drive end. Is it rear wheel or front wheel?
Front wheel.
Okay, so put the 2 identical ones on the front, and then put the new one and the other one on the back. That should do it.
Okay, and that should do it.
If the other one is not that worn, if it's worn a lot and there's a big difference, yes, that does make a difference. But how much of a difference is it between a new one and the one you're putting on the rear?
Well, I looked at the old one that I'm putting back on, and it's about 4 30-second tread left. And I don't know. I'd looked online, and I think the new ones come in at, 10, 30 seconds?
Well, okay, hold on. You need a new tire anyhow. So if they're giving you a new one for $5, why not buy another one?
Buy another one, then have 2 new tires on the back or on the front.
I might be explaining that wrong. My tires that I took off, my summers, are in really good shape. They're pretty good. They're 80% left on the wear.
Well, it's not 80% left if it's 4.
Yeah, you said it was 4 30 seconds.
I might be reading it wrong too. I'm not a tire guy.
All right. So listen, and then here's the bottom line. If the tires are near new, then there's not going to be a problem putting the other tire on at all. There's not going to be a problem. 303-713-8255. What's going on, Gordon? You have a comment on autonomous trucks that many companies are experimenting with right now, autonomous semis over the road. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I've owned a trucking company. Well, our family's been in it for 100 years, and I own a trucking company. But autonomous trucks, you still have to have 2 licensed CDL drivers in that truck if you're going to run 24 hours, because a driver can only do 12-hour shifts.
Well, that's the way current law is, Gordon. But where they're beta testing them right now, they're just on shorter routes. We haven't come to that. We haven't come to the era where we are going cross-country, except for maybe a beta test I haven't heard about. But, Gordon, what will probably have to happen is a change in laws.
Well, that's probably true. But then what I've seen of these, I've seen some of the autonomous trucks in Arizona, Texas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the problem with them is the truck doesn't adjust according to weather. and they have accidents because of too much rain on the road, snow on the road. It just...
Oh, I don't doubt there's a lot to be learned from this, man. I don't like the idea of going down a highway with autonomous trucks around me unless it's perfected. But I don't think they're going to let autonomous trucks go coast to coast without it being perfected. I mean, just like autopilots on airplanes. I mean, there was a one time we would never think about going on an airplane with an autopilot. Now, obviously, there's a pilot sitting there, but what I'm saying is that autopilot flies better than any pilot alive. But you're right. There's a lot of technology. And then what's going to happen to over-the-road truckers at that point? What's going to happen? I don't know.
It's gonna put us out of business, and then now all the over-the-road trucks that you buy new have to be automatics. And that's been for the last few years, because they want all the over-the-road trucks by 2027. They want all the new over-the-road trucks automatic.
Yeah, and then they want them electric.
Yeah, we looked at an electric truck in Dallas the other day, and it has a range of 100 miles.
Well, yeah. Listen, everything is in development right now, but we won't recognize the transportation industry in 5 years. We won't recognize it. Anthony, what's going on, Anthony?
Yeah. Hey, Tom. So I'll give you the quick summary. We've got a garage that's not in the best shape. It's detached with no power running to it. We were considering demoing it and putting just 2 10-by-10 sheds in its place.
Okay, so right now let me get it straight then. Right now you have a home and 2 outbuildings?
One.
Oh, one out, which is okay. So you have 1 house and 1 outbuilding, and the outbuilding has no power going to it.
It used to years and years and years ago.
Okay. So what is your question?
Is it going to make a huge detriment to home value if I demo the garage and put 2 sheds in its place next to each other?
Now, when you say demo the garage, so that outbuilding is a garage right now.
Technically, yes.
How do you pull a car in and out?
You can't, because it has no power and it has barn doors on it. The house is 120 years old.
All right, so then then for all practical purposes, it's not a garage. So it wouldn't make a difference. And how much land do you have?
It's maybe 1/8 of an acre.
Okay, if you want to do the best home value, you should put up a garage. If you want to just put up sheds because you want sheds, go ahead. Are you going to use one of the sheds for the car?
No.
Okay. No, 2 sheds are fine. Can you put in a garage? And can you put in 2 sheds? That depends on your local building department. But your home will be more valuable with a garage, and more valuable with a 2-car garage, and even more valuable with a 3-car garage. What is the size of your home right now?
900 square feet.
Then you don't need really a 2-car probably. But here's what I would do. If I had a 900 square foot home, is the house in good repair?
It is now. We've done a lot of rework to it.
What would it sell for, out of curiosity?
$275-ish.
Okay, I would put a 1-car garage, and it would bring up your value.
Or minimum a carport.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put 2 sheds on a small property like that. Now, if you can do
we're just thinking the building's not in great. The garage itself currently is not in the best shape.
Right, that's what I mean. Put up a garage.
Yeah.
Take that down and put up a good garage. A garage is very valuable for a home. In fact, some people will not consider a house without a garage.
I'm just curious. You said at one point it had power. What happened to the power?
What difference does that make?
Well, if
they were
it's
overhead
just
lines, and somebody at one point took them down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But you would have to bring power to the new garage.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can ditch power. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You just need $110 for a garage door.
Yeah.
But I would definitely put up, if you're asking me what I would do, with a 900 square foot house that I fixed up a bit, I would put a garage. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd probably put in an oversized one-car garage, but do whatever makes sense to you.
Or a nice, if you don't have the dough for that or don't want to put it, a nice carport kit is like $4,000.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, again, I think a garage is the maximum for value, in my opinion. WaterPros.net will get you great water systems at the lowest prices ever, computerized, low maintenance. The one that's at the sink, I have two of them at two different sinks for drinking water. You'll never buy bottled water again. They're under $1,000 fully installed. They don't even run on electric. They run off the power of the water. Computerized, triple filter, reverse osmosis. WaterPros.net. You will not find anything better for the price.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner.
This one they just did in March. This is interesting. Listen to this, Tom. Dallas to Atlanta, 6,350 miles, delivering 8 commercial loads. The truck ran 24 hours a day for 131 total hours, or 6 days.
Sheridan Auto Tech.
Okay, I'm on the air in a minute.
Okay.
Excel Roofing is not only a great roofing company, but one of the best companies I've seen run in a long time, and one of the best owners, Jay Brett's, not only a personal friend, but really in business since '93 with thousands of satisfied customers. And he doesn't take a cent until you're content. No one gets burned with Excel Roofing. They have an excellent system. Here's what it is. The owner, honorable. The project managers take on your project like it's their own. And then they have workers dedicated to the best jobs. This is unusual for most roofing companies to have such a close-knit bunch of people working together for the good of you, the customer, in the roofing business. Not a penny up front. Complete contracts describing the entire job and the materials to be used, so you know what your insurance company is approving. And they'll work with your insurance company or public adjuster. When I needed a new roof, I used Excel. When I needed any part of a roof, I called Excel. 303-761-6400. Excel as an excellent. ExcelRoofing.com. Let's talk about mortgages with Kurt Rogers at Affordable Interest Mortgage. The best mortgage in the business, in my opinion, the liquid loan. What is a liquid loan? Well, you can look it up, theliquidloan.com on his website, and what you'll find, it's a 30-year line of credit. That's incredible. It's simple interest. So right off the bat, it pays off your first and sits there. Right off the bat, you're saving money with simple interest. You're not paying amortized interest up front. In fact, if you're only going to be in the home a few years, like 5, 6 years, pay interest only while the house appraises. Now, if you want to pay principal, you can. Any amount you want, anytime you want. In fact, every dollar you put in the bank offsets your balance, so you pay even less interest. It's a line of credit. If you need more equity, you can borrow more out. You don't have you have total control. That's why we call it theliquidloan.com. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Colorado Pain Care is the full name. The website is coloradopaincare.com, where you will read about their multiple clinics located conveniently for you, and convenient office hours or clinic hours from 7 to 7, including convenient hours for physical therapy. Did you know you can go directly for physical therapy, and their PhD physical therapists can help you? They can help you directly, and if you need medical intervention, they can recommend their docs or go to the docs. 303-GOT-PAIN. That's 303-GOT-PAIN. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, let's talk. What is on your mind today? 303-713-TALK. We have open lines, 303-713-8255. for anything you need to talk about. And we've been talking about autonomous over-the-road trucks, what they will cost eventually. Listen, I do believe there will be retro kits for cars eventually, but I also believe almost every car coming out will have that function available, and maybe not off the lot, but a way to upgrade the software to auto driving. I think they're all going to be built with it. And then when it becomes totally legal and acceptable, the software upgrades will allow your car to do it.
The insurance is going to be the big one, man.
Insurance is always the big thing. I'd like to ask Compass Insurance Group, if we can get them on the line, what they think about autonomous driving and what that will mean for the business. Basically, what do you think it'll mean for the business? That's the important thing. Will it mean that you pay more if you have auto driving? Do you pay less because it's considered better?
Well, what's the difference? Here's where I go to. If it's a problem with the software or something, wouldn't that be the manufacturer or the software designer?
I mean, let's put it this way. Personal injury attorneys will have many more parties to sue. Okay? Many more. Think about it. You have the auto manufacturer, the software people, the the self-drive components, the owner of the car. So we'll ask Compass where insurance is going and if they have addressed it yet, or are they talking about addressing it. By the way, guess what? Your credit score may soon go up if you have medical debt that still appears as a ding on your credit. Did you know that, Mark? Do you know why?
Yeah, and I do kind of agree with it in most circumstances.
Because medical collections, as of July 1st, will no longer be included on your credit report. These are paid off credit collections, meaning if you were late, if it was difficult paying, but you did pay it off, it's not going to show as a negative.
But if you have not paid it and still owe it, what happens?
That's what I'm reading here. Your credit scores will go up because the past negativity of late payments will go away. But also it says credit scores help you basically for everything, including insurance, by the way. So on July 1st, they will cease including past medical debt that went to collections.
All medical debt?
Yes, that went to collections if it's been paid off.
Okay.
If you pay off medical debt, it will no longer be a ding on your credit. Now, I don't know. I think that's good. In fact, I think all debt you pay off should be go away.
I don't.
Why?
I think that's crazy, man. If I was a landlord, for instance, and I want to know if someone didn't pay their rent for 11 months, then paid it.
Why?
Why? Because for 11 months, I'd be looking at negative cash flow compared to the mortgage I
Now listen to this. Also starting July 1st, unpaid medical collection debt won't appear on credit reports for the first 12 months. So if you have a brand new medical bill and it goes to collections, it will not show up for the first 12 months of collection.
Isn't that just kicking the can down the road? Because if you haven't paid it in 12 months, you probably ain't.
But there was a previous grace period of 6 months.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So medical debt only went on your credit report after 6 months of non-payment.
And what is medical debt? If I get a nose job?
I actually don't know.
Job?
Now listen to this. Consumers will now have more time to work with health insurance companies and providers to address medical bills. No, I think this is pretty good. Medical is not like you went out and foolishly spent money and decide not to pay, like a car or something. I mean, really, if you have medical debt, it's not the same. It's not necessarily someone being stupid or being reckless with their credit. If you have a child that goes into the hospital with a broken leg or emergency room, or you have a problem with gallstones or kidney stones or anything, and you come out with loads of medical bills, I don't think this is a big deal. Beginning the first half of 2023, medical collection debt of less than $500 will be excluded. So here are the changes. Ready? All right. Anything you've paid off that went to collections will not be on your credit report. Any medical debt that's going to collections will not be reported for at least 1 year, and any medical debt under $500 will not be reported. So those are pretty good improvements for consumers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I've got so many questions. Remember when they tried to say, hey, we're going to post all the prices in hospitals? We found out that was total bogus crap. There was no teeth in it. It did nothing.
There's no teeth.
Don't do it.
No, they don't. There was a law, there still is a law that says all hospitals and healthcare facilities must post prices. And no one does. No one does. Nope. Now, what do you think the average past due medical bill was for 2020? I would have thought way more than this. What do you think, Deputy Doc?
$2,500.
No. $429.
Well, that brings up my question.
That's the average past due. Wow.
It sounds like that is the average deductible that you would pay going into a hospital under Obamacare. So I'm curious, does that not show up because you owe that to your insurance company, or does it only not show up if it's owed to the hospital?
It said medical debt, so I would assume it's both insurance and hospital. That's what I would assume. By the way, 43 million Americans are in debt for medical reasons. 43 million. Now, the total debt, 88 billion. 88 billion. But, you know, here's the problem with medical debt, and this is a problem, okay? Medical debt is not all medical debt. It's what Mark just brought up, insurance debt. And insurance artificially raises the cost of medicine. Medical, if you paid directly health providers on the day of treatment, would be enormously less expensive. The problem is that most medical debt is there because of inadequate insurance or insurance companies. When insurance entered the medical profession, prices went up all over to pay for the insurance companies.
I argue it was government getting involved into it, period.
No, but even before the government
never got involved, it would be like any other industry, supply and demand.
But it really isn't, because they go to doctors. Here, Mark, before government intervention, okay, an insurance company literally went to a group of doctors and said, if you want to be part of our group, this is what you're going to accept as payment, this percentage or this reimbursement rate, and you have to file this, and this. Doctors immediately started raising prices to cover the cost of insurance administration. Doc, am I telling the truth?
Well,
insurance administration is a big cost in a medical clinic.
We had one person who did nothing but deal with insurance companies, pre-approvals, and if you want to consider that an extra cost, yes, we hired one person. Her salary was because of insurance companies.
Not just that, but the cost of money, the delayed payments, the delayed reimbursements.
We have 90. They could wait 90 days.
Well, okay. So figure the cost of money on 90 days plus one employee for a small clinic. Think about large clinics. They have entire staffs that deal with insurance. And all I'm saying is it raises the cost of medicine all over the place. And because of that, it's like they're the mafia.
I think government still had a bigger take. I agree with everything you just said, but you know, going to a hospital and saying, no matter what happens, if it's an emergency, you have to do whatever you can possibly do.
Of course.
And you're never going to get paid.
Of course, because a lot of us are paying for people that aren't able to pay.
Was people would we would check their insurance at 36 weeks, and then they would cancel it when they went into labor.
Are you rebooting?
And I would never get paid.
Back traffic.
This report, we are literally,
on I-20.
We are zooming Steve Jobs.
Just past University.
So they've got system problems downstairs or something?
Between Alameda and 6th Avenue, clearing the officer.
So we didn't get paid for OB care until after the baby was delivered. So we check it at 36 weeks, and they go into labor 37 weeks and cancel it. I'm out the entire 9 months worth of treatment that I paid, that I took care of that patient for.
Wow.
And that happened a lot.
Dang, Doc.
And then they would declare bankruptcy, and I'd be out the 9 months worth of work.
What would be a defense against that?
There isn't any.
Hold on a sec.
Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com.
I believe K&H Home Solutions is the oldest remodeling company or home improvement company in all of Colorado. 65 years strong. I knew the original owner, and I knew when Ted took it over. KHWindows.com is the website. It's K&H Home Solutions. They expanded from windows to siding, gutters, roofing, windows, doors, whatever. They have what you're looking for, and right now you get 30% off your project, whether it's windows, siding, and doors, or any one of those components. Beautiful energy-efficient windows. They're soft light windows, by the way, Energy Star rated. Also durable siding, the best siding in the business, bar none, Everlast. And designer doors. Right now, 30% off, 303-421-7100, khwindows.com. Frank Duran, the real estate man. I talk about the free market analysis, but there's so much more to Frank that a market analysis is nothing to sneeze at. He'll tell you what that house will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. But you have to experience the way he lists homes if you ever want him to. Because he does not ask the top price that you might think. He asks a price that gets a lot of bids and a lot of attention. And he can show by stats how he sells for more money and he sells quicker. You really need to trust Frank. Those who do know that Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, comes through every time. He set records for a condo he sold for me. No one ever sold one more. 303-920-1622.
Facing a job.
So what's going on with it?
And it's not my baby finger. Something.
This is pretty nice. Compass isn't around. Look at these. Oh, you didn't hear me. One at Lulls. These are, I think they're new. We want to talk about insurance for self-driving. I wonder where this is.
Is that multifamily building?
Yeah, I wonder where this is in conjunction to you.
What's it called?
It's. I think it might be out by Green Valley.
No, what's it called?
I don't know. I'm looking.
Painted Prairie?
Painted Prairie.
Yeah, that's right behind me.
That is behind.
That is literally behind me, yeah.
Is it nice?
It's
all new?
It's fucking brand new. I would love a piece over there, but it would be a size piece. I'm serious.
These are interesting.
It's some interesting construction, the way that they do it. Some of them are houses. Then they've got these, those vertical buildings, shotgun-style buildings that they kind of put up, those modern-looking.
That are tall?
Yeah.
3 stories.
Then they've got some of those. Then they've got a couple of ranches. They put a nice park over there. I like flying my drone over.
How much is of the neighborhoods done, would you say? Is it new?
It's new. They're still building. They've got maybe 2 of the main sections done, 2 or 3.
Out of what, like 10?
Out of 6 or 10, yeah. It's a bunch. Get an aerial.
This is Dan Kaplis. Obviously, I hope you never suffer a catastrophic injury. If God forbid you are in that situation, please know that big cases are usually fought at a very high level, and the quality of your counsel can make a life-saving, multi-million-dollar difference in the outcome of your case. Our track record in big cases speaks for itself. We're a serious firm for serious cases. We take righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help, please give me a call at 303-770-5551 or hit DanKaplis.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness?
Oh, it
Modern
came just
medicine
aside my
or
favorite
personal
commercial.
hygiene? Actually, it's both. But
That's
considering
sort of
the
over.
baby
Every time you turn on
1800s,
K-How, you hear this freaking commercial every 10 minutes.
Which one?
This stupid lavage one.
After all, your
I fucking hate it.
I do too.
Dirt and germs. The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses.
His voice sounds so condescending.
But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc. Broker-dealer. Member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc. A registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino,
your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Let's talk. Jesse has an update. Now, I want to go over this problem. It's quite complicated. I'll bring up Deputy Smarty Pants, who is one of our smarty people, and he's our deputy. And I say Smarty Pants because he knows everything. Anyway, we joke, but we really mean it. But let's talk about this problem. The original problem was this guy bought a car, and he was complaining about the wheel making a noise. To make a long story short, he complained about it a while, and then he called the dealer, and I think they had done previous work on this, right, Jesse?
Yep, they did. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, your wheel fell off, and you thought it's too much of a coincidence, so we took it over to Honest Accurate Auto, where near you, and they said that basically the wheel and all the wheels were torqued wrong. And as we said, I think they need to take some responsibility, not for all the wheels, but for definitely the wheel they worked on. And Smarty Pants, we asked you to call them.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, I got all the information from Jesse. I asked him to send me a detailed email, which, that's my strategies. I then was able to reach the general manager and the service manager. I got their email addresses because generally general managers don't answer their phones. So, well, they just don't, but they do get their emails. So I sent an email to both these gentlemen, and I understand that the general manager personally called Jesse yesterday. And I don't know what the result is at this point.
Let's hear it. What happened, Jesse?
All right. Well, thanks again for helping me out here. So I got a hold of him today. He was actually on the phone with me and the service manager. And so he did say more than likely 99% sure he'll be fronting the bill and paying for the whole thing to get fixed. But he did want it towed up there so he can take a look at it. He did say, in 29 years he has seen this happen, and he believes his mechanic should be responsible to do the right thing.
That's really cool.
Do the right thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the whole reason why they thought the whole thievery of stealing tires was he did have an Audi that had that same problem, but the guy that has the Audi, his workplace has cameras, and found out there were people trying to steal tires. So that's kind of why they kept saying, well, it could have been a thief trying to take the tires. But I doubt on a Pathfinder with the Falcon tires.
Well, yeah, but anything can happen. But the good news is we got the attention of the general manager at Larry H. Miller, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's sitting down a tow truck right now, and he's gonna pay for the bill, honest, accurate, for their inspections and tow.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what this calls for. Hold on, I should have had it ready. I don't normally get my dinger ready, just for sheer, just to have dingers. But I'm going to do it this time. And there it goes. Hold on. Hey, there it goes. So,
Yay.
yes. Okay. So listen, Marty.
Yeah.
You've been getting a lot of dingers lately. Now listen, what else you working on, man?
Hitting streak.
What else?
Oh, I'm still working on some of the other ones. Just waiting to hear back.
Okay.
You know, it takes time for a lot of these things, so you just got to hold off and wait. You plant the seeds and let it grow.
Marty, your strategy. People have asked before. What is your strategy? Just sum it up.
Well, each case is different, Tom. I just look at each case and I think to myself, what's the most effective manner? As you know, I do emails a lot.
Yeah.
And I would say the reason I use email is that I don't have to go back and forth to be a mediator in the middle. All the story's there in front of somebody of importance, and he can sit down and read it, and it's in order, and it's all factual. I tell the consumer, do not use any emotional words like stupid or weird.
Yeah.
Just stick to the facts.
Or rip off, right?
Yeah, don't say anything negative. Just the facts, like it's a police report. And that way, because facts cannot be disputed. And that's and I also follow up with a phone call. It's not just email. I will call, leave a message, and ask them if they read the email, if I can get a hold of them. But this is typical. The general managers don't always call me back, but they will reach out to the consumer, as they did in Jesse's case, and they don't really deal with me anymore.
All right. I appreciate it, Smarty Marty. And we have a lot more coming up here, like, for example, Jody. This should be easy. Jody, what's going on?
Well, this is probably... Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jody.
Okay. I call you a lot because I think you know so much. But I have a Ring doorbell that's been sitting there for probably 6 to 8 months. It's been sitting here. And I heard you guys talking about Ring doorbells. And I'm just wondering, I don't have anybody to help me. I'm in my 70s, and I don't have, I just don't have anybody to help me. And I know you...
Jody, where are you located in general? Jody, where are you located in general?
I'm in Longmont.
Okay. Now, Jody...
I'm in Longmont, and I know you said that next door isn't so great, and I think you're right, because I have had guys tell me, oh, I'll be over and I'll fix it this weekend, I'll come over, and I've offered, and nobody ever comes. Nobody ever helps me come. They never ever comes.
Jody, you need someone to help you install a doorbell, right? Now,
yes,
is this one, let me ask you something. Do you have an existing doorbell?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it a powered, are you going to hook this up with do you have the battery operated one, or do you have the one that needs power?
Oh gosh, see, I don't know that kind of stuff. I have it here. It says, let me see.
Tell me what model doorbell you have.
Well, it says video doorbell. Answer the door from anywhere. I don't know
Never mind. It doesn't matter. Jody, you have an existing doorbell. Now, do you know that that Ring doorbell sometimes requires an inside unit? Do you have the inside bell that you plug into a socket? You don't know.
I have two things. I have a doorbell, and then I have a thing that says Ring chime.
Yes, that's what you... Okay, good. You have everything you need.
Okay.
Do you have a Wi-Fi network in your home to get on the internet?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you have a cell phone?
Yes.
Do you know how to use apps?
Yes. Do you think I can do it myself?
No. No, not at all. I don't think you can.
Oh.
But I'm just asking if you have the tools. So the app is going to be how you see who's at the door. And you can do it on your phone, or if you have an iPad. Do you have an iPad?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jody, you're in Longmont, and you need someone to help you put a video doorbell up We have to be able to
A
find.
Ring, it says Ring doorbell.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure any of our handyman can do it. I would have no doubt.
Would they go up to Longmont? Do we have anyone up there?
I mean, they charge for drive time. You know, they just charge from start to finish. But
let's try to find one of our handymen and see what they would charge. Let's see if it's, or if there's a volunteer in the north area, and we'll do a check to make sure, you know, we don't just send anyone to your house. If anyone's listening and wants to try to help, just give us a call. Hold on, Jody. Suze, can you get her number, please, so we can get back to her? Anyone listening, if you can help us, let us know, please. Somebody maybe can put that doorbell in for her that has a little... Wait, I know someone up there. Wait, I think Nate, one of my buds up there, could do it. Let me see if he would do it. He might be listening. But let's also look into our handymen as well.
Yeah, my chime just went out the other day. I got to buy another one.
Did you Wordle today, Mark?
Mark gave up on Wordle.
I do Wordle all the time.
No, well, then he didn't give up on Wordle.
Every day.
You do yours today?
I know. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now, brother.
Today's is pretty easy.
What are you talking about?
Wordle.
It's above your head, man.
Another one of them bandwagons. You know those bandwagons that come out every 30 minutes and everybody on the planet jumps on? But I must say, Doc, you were the first person I heard even say Wordle.
Let's talk. I love reverse loans in certain circumstances. I love reverse loans when you have the right people doing them, and you can tap equity in your home to live off it in a lump sum, a line of credit, monthly payments. If you have a lot of equity and you're getting older, there's nothing wrong with it. And one of the lenders I highly recommend, Empower Reverse Mortgage. That's Mark Massey. He's a very good person. He has a great, caring staff, and he can walk you through the process. I urge you to give him a call. EmpowerReverse.com. You will never be upside down in the house, more than the house is worth ever. Most of the time, the house appraises way beyond what you've borrowed. 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719. That's 720-500-7719. Estate planning is something that is not just a good idea, it's essential for not only protecting you and your assets, but also protecting your heirs. You can set up a trust to protect heirs through their whole life. Did you know that? With special rules on disbursements. You can also set up a simple will. You can set up payable on death certificates for bank accounts and a beneficiary's deed for a house to stay completely out of probate. Any of these questions can be answered by Blake Harris Law, free of charge. 833-ASK-BLAKE. He'll answer your questions. 833-ASK-BLAKE. He only charges when you hire him, flat rates for what he does. Give him a call, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
It's Brian with Advanced Mudjacking. 2022 is here, and it's going to be another busy year. Denver is growing, but concrete is still sinking. Porches, driveways, floors, they all settle over time. Advanced Mudjacking at yahoo.com. 303-424-9441.
So, you want the highest price for your home? Listen Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. to our Barry and Larry Home Seller Show. Listen up or miss out on the Real Estate Boom, 8 a.m. every Saturday, 6:30 p.m.
Equity is at all-time highs. Interest rates are still historically low, low, low. That's the ideal combination to apply at idealhomeloans.com. First we listen, then we lend, including the interest rate.
Fuck, Doc. Look how unlucky I got on today's. Look how unlucky I fucking got.
Put you at par with cash buyers. Call now.
Look at my first two.
Oh, wow.
Look how fucking unlucky.
Yep. Well, you got it.
Well, as soon as I had any hint,
right.
would you get it in?
Same thing. My third try.
It's tough when there's only one vowel and it's a U or Y, because that's not one of my go-tos.
Right.
So, Mark, you don't see anything negative. I see a lot of shit, man. Taking out this liquid loan and just letting it sit there.
For you especially not, because you keep saying you want that bump. There's no better
Well,
bump.
mine is right now 765. What's yours?
That, like 820.
Why the fuck?
I don't know. And you have longer credit lines, which is
Way longer.
No, not way longer.
No, way longer.
You got some that are 14. I just saw your credit the other day. You showed it.
Mark, I have some credit cards I've had for more than 20 years.
I know, but they don't report anymore. Shit, you probably had some that were 40 years.
Why don't they report anymore?
Because once the 7,
they weren't included.
It doesn't matter. They still don't. They still won't report them as though you had them. I know it's bullshit. I still have a fucking Sears card.
By the way, did I tell you that Capital One turned me down, right?
No, but why? Did they tell you?
No, they said it's algorithm. They can't stay. There's no reason.
Well, they have to send you a letter.
And guess what? It wasn't for credit.
What's done more to improve
That's what they
overall
said,
health and
765
wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene?
So
Actually,
I
it's
went to
both.
American
But
Express
considering that bathing
and got the
remains
Mac
in
Daddy. Gives more.
and brushing your
The
teeth
Mac
in
Daddy
19
with no problem.
I was approved in 5.
Like clean
I wonder why the
nose.
fuck.
After all, your nose is the body's
And as soon as I was approved for that one, it went up.
germs. The first line of defense against allergies,
So
the mortgage will bump it
bacteria,
up
and viruses
30
from
points
going
easy.
into your lungs.
You'd
But
be over
how to
800.
clean your nose with Navage. Navage isn't
I don't have
medicine,
mortgage
it's
on mine.
more like
I think I'd
fun.
have literally
Navage
perfect
uses
credit.
powered suction to pull saline in one mouth.
I have perfect credit. Mine's only 30, Mark. What's the max?
No, well, we own less than 100 on it, but it's all in Suzanne's name.
Mark, where does it go up to?
Sleep deeper snoring.
By design, I own nothing. You know that.
Find out for yourself how
By design, I literally own nothing.
Navage is at Navage.com.
So, Mark, what's the max credit score?
800.
No, because mine's 830.
850, Doc.
Okay, so I'm pretty close to it.
But how do you get that? I mean, why would he and not me? I mean, I have a ton of income and no lates, and I have everything. I don't get it.
Well, the amount of time of credit is a big one. He's got shit on his that's fucking 50, 70 years old. What's your longest line of credit? 50? I'm not kidding.
What do you mean?
If you look on your credit report, it'll say longest line.
Oh, I don't know. Probably since I moved to Denver. So.
Have you had one account for 40 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
My Visa card.
Yes, that's the big daddy right there.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. If we get Jody's information, we can probably help her.
Hey,
Yes,
Tom,
Suze.
I already have a retired engineer up that way that does volunteer handyman work and wants to help her out.
That is so wonderful. Jody, we're going to get a volunteer retired handyman, retired engineer, and a handyman up
Super
there.
nice guy, Tom.
He's a great guy, Jody. And
oh, thank you so much.
And like I said, it's something that he can show you, and then you'll download that app, and you'll be off to the races.
Oh gosh, that's great.
Well, thank you,
So excited.
Thank you, Jody. Suze is going to arrange that, and I love that you call us for help. You know, I wish, man, when my mom was older and I was out of town, I wish there were people she could call, because she would call me, of course, and we'd have to take care of it long distance. But it is difficult as you get older. Craig, what's going on? Hi, Craig.
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Right now, Biden's proposing that we're all going to be forced to use E85 in our automobiles, 15% ethanol gas.
You know, I understand that.
Wait. That's not a fair statement, what he just said. You'll still have the option to buy other gasoline, man.
No, wait a minute. What do you mean the option? I thought they were going to force that only E85 would be available.
Is that what they're saying, caller?
That's what I believe. I mean, they're saying that in a feeble...
Well, how the hell would you run a sports car?
Well, newer cars, hold on. Let me just explain this. Newer cars are produced so ethanol is not going to harm them, okay? Newer cars. But older cars, it could damage. So I think you'd probably have exemptions. I don't really know.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, the only vehicles that can use E85 are vehicles that are flex fuel capable. They've been designed to use that fuel. If you use it in a vehicle, I've had vehicles where I had, wanted to try some E85 and it immediately triggered a check engine light. All of your small engines, all of your lawnmowers.
Yeah, but newer cars, even if they're not flex vehicles, they can use E85.
Some people would argue they're better for cars too.
No, they're not. You lose mileage for sure. So you use more of it.
No. What I'm saying is, as far as the engine, just a little cleaner. But my biggest argument is what you just said. Even if it costs 25% less, you still lose 25% of your mileage.
Yeah, I know. So listen, hold on, and let's discuss this. I want to look it up to make sure I have the right information. All right? 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Do you know about E85? Give us a call. Are they requiring it? What will it be? What happens to cars that can't run it? I mean, again, nothing surprises me today. Nothing.
You worked your whole career to reach...
I was under the impression, if you can hear me, that they are allowing it.
Yeah, they're just allowing it.
With Summit Wealth Strategy.
Yeah, I agree with you, because generally they don't allow it in summer.
Right.
Now they're going to allow it in summer.
Right.
This guy's crazy thinking it's mandated. There's shit that won't run off of E85.
Exactly, I got one. E85 in that fucking show.
Okay, never mind. He just wants to let him use it all year.
It was a straight gag.
Yeah, it's anytime I've looked at it, it's usually like, I don't know, 30 cents a gallon cheaper. But as soon as you look up the mileage difference, you're actually paying fucking more. Ooh, they arrested him.
They got the guy?
They got him. Suspect, at least. It's got to be him, just because, I mean, he had such weird shit about his subways. I don't think, the good news is, there is any good, well, two pieces of good news. No one died. And the other thing is, it's not like Al-Qaeda or anything, related. At least apparently not. It's crazy, man.
He's a psycho mass shooter as opposed to a political mass shooter.
Yeah, I think he's like legitimately crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, I got 3 calls now. It is E15 they're requiring, not the E85, or trying to require. Oh, okay, well, I got 3 calls and I didn't hear any of it.
Basically, E85 is 85% ethanol. It's not. It's 15% ethanol. You're right.
So we can get the information out on who the suspect is. Authorities say a camera in the Brooklyn station where the attacks occurred
interesting.
Transmit video in real time.
And if they're not requiring it, they're saying it can be used year-round.
And cell phone video. The CDC
you know who's getting out? Let me see here.
For 2 additional weeks to allow the CDC to monitor a recent uptick in COVID cases. The BA2
Guess who's playing the show in Brooklyn this year? Guitar show.
In the U.S.
Who? John Hinckley Jr. He shot
shot
Reagan. He's out, and he's going to be putting on a concert in Brooklyn this summer. Isn't that the craziest fucking thing?
Disappeared in 2016. She reappeared several weeks later, claiming she'd been kidnapped. Now she's expected to admit it was all a lie.
He traded in his gun guitar.
But it took years for the FBI to get it.
Get your tickets while you can. Ticket sales are good. You know what? If I lived around there, I would be one of these nuts. I'd pay $20 to go see Hinckley. And I would just put one of those stickers with Biden pointing at him.
Saying she is deeply ashamed of herself and that she will work the rest of her life to make amends for what she did. Alex Stone, EBC News.
You remember who he was stalking?
Yeah, Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, that's right.
To add a tool to its help app to remind people to take their medication. It will also include.
But she's gay, so it wouldn't do them any good anyway.
ABC News.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness?
July 8th.
Come on, stop with this fucking Navage.
Actually, it's both.
It tries Dr.
Bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s. Isn't it time for...
What are you saying, Doc? You don't want to brush your teeth?
After all, you're...
No, what does that do with brushing my teeth?
The commercial says, at one point, brushing your teeth was not normal. Of course, now it is. Navage will be like brushing your
Right,
teeth.
that chance.
With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull cells.
I might go see him.
Very back.
Hey, would you go see John Hinckley for $20 at a hotel? No? No. I would. Fuck it, I would. Would you go? If I had 2 tickets and said you want to go, would you go?
I'd probably go for the beer, but I wouldn't give a shit about Hinckley.
Why would you want to go see Hinckley?
Exactly.
I don't know why. I don't fucking know. Just to see a live fucking nutball that shot the president play the guitar at a hotel.
Well, guess what you would be seeing?
That's exactly
live
what...
fucking nutball that shot the president.
That's playing a gig. It's just insane. The whole thing is fucking Twilight Zone.
One thing I would like to say.
I would get him to autograph a Jodie Foster picture.
Now that would
my
be
goodness.
funny.
Now that is sick. Now there's now that's some Nazi right there.
My father-in-law used to have Corvairs, and I got an owner's manual from him on the off chance I ever ran into Ralph Nader. I wanted to get his autograph on the Corvair instruction manual. You know, unsafe and HB. That sort of stuff would be fun.
That would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy, I can't even think of his name, but he's a Broncos Ring of Famer. I think his name starts with a G, but he was at this Broncos Ring of Famer that's his last name starts with a G. He's not like a huge player, but he's a Ring of Famer.
Okay.
But anyhow, he was at a Goodyear thing I was going to. Actually, it was a Siegel Oil Company deal. So I didn't have any footballs, but I happened to have a bunch of soccer balls and baseballs in my fucking trunk. So this poor bastard had to sit there and sign my baseballs. And fucking, I think they were actually basketballs.
You know, a lot of celebrities are used to signing baseballs because that one crosses over. But soccer?
Yeah, it was fucking crazy, man. He's looking at me like, God, these guys can't pay me enough for this shit anymore.
So I have a question. Why does anybody want an autograph? To me, it is the most stupid thing that you can.
Shit, man, I got a Peyton Manning fucking signed right in front of me football that's worth probably $1,500.
Why would somebody want to pay you for an autograph? It makes no sense to me.
Oh, fuck, I don't
got a picture of my daughter in Elway's arms.
That's cool. Did he sign it? I like autographs.
It means nothing to me.
I mean, I don't like go out and collect them, but I do. I think they're cool, especially with memorabilia.
Yeah, on memorabilia it's nice, but I'm not a collector.
Would you rather have a jersey from the Super Bowl or a signed jersey from the Super Bowl?
Neither.
Well, okay, I can't argue someone that doesn't like memorabilia.
I mean, the only value to me would be that I would immediately sell it because it has no intrinsic value to me.
Yeah.
A signed jersey to me is nothing, except if I could sell it.
Yeah,
immediately.
signatures. I don't care about.
Yeah.
But if
You say a jersey with Carmela's signature on it.
I would I would only do it if I was.
Who's ahead of the ADA? AMA.
Who knows?
He'd probably go crazy for
I
it.
never belonged to the AMA. You don't have to belong to a doctor.
You never belonged?
I never belonged to the AMA.
So you weren't a doctor?
Oh, right. I was a fraud.
I read about a dentist in Florida that practiced for like 25 years.
Right,
never had a license.
You want to see my bona fides?
Wouldn't that be funny? I bet there's been doctors out there that have never went to medical
Absolutely.
school. I mean, how hard is it to deliver a baby? My great-grandmother did it by herself.
It's not the delivery of the baby, it's 9 months previous.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. You know, it's important that you know about garage floors, and I love Garage Magic. And they can do garages, warehouses, pool decks, patios, walkways. Garage Magic. Polyaspartic, stronger than epoxy, a 21-year warranty. All employees highly trained, insured, ready to go. A local company that I know and trust, you can too. GarageMagic.com for your garage floors. Now's the season to get on the schedule. 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME. So what's going on? Let's talk. First and foremost, we were talking about E85, and really, I looked it up. It's not E85. By the way, E85 is 85% ethanol, I believe, and that is truly for flex vehicles. Craig wanted to know, hey, what the hell do I do? I don't want to use E85. You don't have to. And let me just say it's not even a requirement. What they're saying is this. They want to Biden wants to give consumers a lower cost choice in gasoline. And he's proposing that E15, which is 15% ethanol, be available year-round. Prior to this, ethanol blends were only available in the winter months and were, because they did worse for the environment in the summer months. He's proposing to keep prices down and to save any slim chance he has in the midterms to use E15 in the year-round scenario. That's all it is. So, Craig, you're not going to be forced to use it. He's proposing that E15 blends be available all year. Okay?
Now, are you certain
yes.
E85 doesn't represent 85% gasoline and 15% ethanol?
No, I'm not. No, I guess I'm not certain about anything nowadays. But I do know that when I looked it up, flex vehicles, E85, I believe, is 85% ethanol. But you know, hold on. You know, we can simply, Mark, Google that for me. Is E85?
I'm reading up on it.
Is E85 85%? I believe it is. I mean, because I know that E10, yes, it's 85%. Yes, it is. E85 is 85% ethanol.
It
okay.
still reduces, forget about the E85 stuff, but going from our normal summer blend of E10 to E15, if it goes through, what kills me
a winter blend, by the way, the ethanols.
The winter blend, you drop 5% in mileage by going to that 15. So even if it saves you a few cents, if you're dropping the same amount, who cares?
Mark, you're thinking logically and mathematically. The government doesn't know math. 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2. Lower gas prices, but using more doesn't mean more money. If you see a lower price at the pump, you're like this. Oh, Biden lowered the prices. Oh, I'm going to vote for him. That's what it means.
It's like
let's really call it what it is.
A 12-ounce
I don't care.
Beer.
I don't care. All I'm saying is, in general, we are a bunch of idiots. We are. We're a nation of idiots. Let's be honest about it. Don't look here, look here. Okay. Don't look here, look here. Okay. I mean, when it comes to everything, really, have you seen how people respond to everything on both ends of the spectrum, by the way, whether it be COVID, energy, gasoline prices, Putin? It's both ends of the spectrum are crazies.
Everything seems to be a bandwagon to jump on.
I swear to God, it does. And people get...
And of us are in the middle.
I don't know if 99%.
Well, it's pretty damn close.
I don't think so anymore, Mark. I think the middle is shrinking. But in the middle, we got extremes of the middle. But the middle people say, you know what? I'm this way for this and that way for this. And they think and they make decisions based on different issues, not on one size fits all. But then we got the fringe on each end. And the fringe on each end are crazy. Either Putin's a savior doing away with child trafficking and the Nazis in Ukraine, or he's a terrible genocidist. You know, I mean, it's like there's God almighty. I mean, I get so tired. And I just get tired. But here's the deal, Craig. E85 is 85%. You're not going to be forced to use it. You're not even going to be forced to use E15. They're proposing that E15 be available all year round to give the illusion you're paying less for gas. And then if you don't fall for that illusion, the next illusion is Putin caused the gas crisis. And if you don't believe that, yeah, go ahead.
I think you're totally right. It's the illusion that you're paying less for gas, but it's also, you know, as you go to the pump, it says, you know, every pump you go to says this fuel may contain up to 10% ethanol as a warning. Now they upped that to 15%. I'm just thinking long term, upping that alcohol, that even 5%, what is the long term damage? And maybe on Friday on your car day, you can have one of your experts talk about it.
I can tell you with there are some aircraft that run on auto gas. There's some aircraft, light sports and stuff. Let me just explain this because it's critical. They don't want people in the air losing their ass. So here's what they say. The ones that are allowed to run on ethanol do not have rubber seals and gaskets. They're made of something else like neoprene or whatever. And anyway, bottom line is you can use up to 15% ethanol without damage to the engine at all. Whereas the older aircraft that has rubber seals, you can't use any ethanol. It's that simple. So where do you? That's what it is. Okay. So I think if you have an older car, you can't use it. If you have a newer car, you can, and you use up to 15%.
You want
and 15% will not harm an engine.
You're going to love what I'm going to read you right now.
Go ahead.
BMW, Chrysler, Nissan, Toyota, and VW said their warranties will not cover fuel-related claims caused by E15 in their manuals.
Okay. And it's not caused by E15 in their manuals. It's caused by E15 in the fuel tanks, but it says so in the manuals. But that was poorly written, by the way. Anyway.
or poorly spoken.
No, I know what you mean, though. In the manuals, it says they won't cover any fuel-related problems for E15.
It gets worse.
That what?
Ford, Honda, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvo have said E15 will void all warranty.
There you go, Craig. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
So you're right. You're right. Well, I guess a lot of manufacturers don't like that E15 even on new engines. Well, now, I'd like to ask one of my mechanics. Tom Maggio's on with Hands On Auto. He's not on for this, but I want to talk to him anyway. I love Tom. Tom's up in Longmont. Got a great shop, Hands On Auto Tech. Hey, Tom, E15. Are they just covering their asses saying we won't cover any problems caused by it, or will it cause a problem?
Oh, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. You know, that requires a long-term study. But I'm on Mark's side, though. I'm a math man. And, yeah, people are going to lose. They're going to lose mileage to save, what, a couple pennies, like you said.
Yeah, but inside the engine, we don't use rubber anymore, do we?
Teflon, PTFE. I don't think it's going to cause issues. Yeah. I don't think so. You're already running it half the year anyway, right?
Well, some people, I mean, you're right. You're right. Most blends, that's right.
You can't go to E85 for sure. You can't go to E85 if the car's not designed for it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, we're already running 15%. Anyway.
Let's bring you up for this, Anthony. Anthony, this was a problem. I guess we sent you there. Can you explain your original problem, Anthony?
Absolutely. I'm going to preface by saying I understand what as is means. My girlfriend purchased the vehicle as is. We didn't have anybody go check it out. She just bought it as is. Since then, we've had $2,400 worth of repairs that needed to be done.
God!
And I know. And then additionally, we had a leak after those $2,400.
Where'd you buy the car?
I bought it from Johnson's Auto Plaza.
Yeah, and I remember us saying that it's not so much, and I go along with this with every as-is car in every dealer. It's not so much that you bought a car that had problems, a used car. Did the dealer lie to you, cover something up, or do something wrong? Because truly, if the dealer did not, there's very little you can do with it as is, except for safety matters. So I'm going to put you on hold for a sec. We're going to come back and talk about what Tom Maggio at Hands On Auto Tech found when he examined your car.
Did you see that consumer supplier prices rose 11.2 in March? The biggest gain on record. Biggest gain. That number just came out.
For consumer price index?
No, supplier prices. What follows supplier? Everything else, wholesale and consumer.
Supplies cover.
11.2. That means he could actually beat 14%.
John Fuller is a personal injury attorney with a law firm, Fuller Law, and they're smaller by design to give you the personalized attention you deserve. You're not just a number. These firms that brag about being bigger and badder, they collect leads and take the cream of the crop. John Fuller will serve you. Call him. Talk to him. You'll see the difference. If he takes your case on a contingency basis, of course, he will give you his cell phone number and his staff, and John himself will be in touch with you personally, giving you updates on your case. That's why he's my accident lawyer, and he can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co for Colorado, myaccidentlawyer.co, 303-597-4500. Another attorney I want to point out, now I hope you never need John Fuller because you're injured. Here's another attorney I hope you never need, Joe Lazzara, a criminal defense attorney. A lot of people think, I don't need a defense attorney, but if you get a DUI, you do. That's a crime and an infraction of motor vehicle law, both separate issues, but he handles both. He'll handle any crime or accusation, no matter what the reason. So I'm not going to sit and preach to you on how to avoid DUIs. You can, designated drivers, ride shares, and all of that. But if it's something that happened, right now what you need is an attorney. 303-429-6200. Free consultations and flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200. To get extra money nowadays is a godsend. And a lot of people have extra money sitting around, they don't even know it, like tangled necklaces, bracelets, mismatched earrings, old coin collections, broken watches, silver, gold, platinum. See DavidEllisJewelry.com. 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. David Ellis is a name you have trusted for 40 years, and I've known him the whole time. 303-322-8779. That stuff does you no good. You're not going to sell it, and don't send it away to someone you don't even know. Go to a local name you can trust. He'll weigh it and pay it on the spot. David Ellis, 303-322-8779, 3rd and Clayton, DavidEllisJewelry.com.
What if you could refinance your mortgage without starting your loan all over again, potentially saving hundreds of dollars a month, plus tens of thousands of dollars long term? Well, fortunately for you.
Do we have David Ellis's email?
No, that guy doesn't email. No, don't even try to text him.
He does? Why?
I don't know. Isn't this funny? Cops trying to pull over a driverless car. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, shoot it.
Watch this. And then it decides to move over to a safer spot or something.
This has got to be in California.
But what happens when you're getting pulled over and it's driverless? Who gets a ticket?
And the moron cop, he doesn't know what to do. I don't got anybody to fuck with.
No.
What are they doing? Like what?
Well, the car still wants to go. The car just sits there in the way.
They need to put a sticker somewhere saying, hey, call this number.
If I don't pull over, call this number.
Oh, shit.
They can't get in it. What are they trying to do?
Okay, that's it.
What did they actually do?
It's pretty good. It's real. I mean, if that's fake, it's a fucking production.
So they got the car pulled over. Watch it move. There's no driver in it, Tommy. And so then it moved.
The car goes to find a safer place.
Yeah, it just is.
Well, it moved to like a safer space or something. Isn't that a riot? What's going to happen when they're pulling over driverless cars? Who's getting a ticket?
I don't know, but
What's
for
getting a ticket?
But for $30,000, we can turn our bus into driverless mode.
Yeah, and y'all can go get in the bed and let it go and wake up when you get there.
It's like when Tesla came out and said, we're going to build this new car called the Model 3, and we're going to sell it for less than $29,000. Yeah, okay.
They said that?
Yes, and it's like double that.
Easy.
Fucking. It's all bullshit. Tell people the price is low enough, they'll fucking.
What spot did you want Shannon to save?
What's that?
What spot did you want Shannon to save?
Oh, the John Fuller Live today.
What about him?
I'm just sending it to John. That was fucking kick-ass.
Unmatched intelligence.
You got a problem with that?
Got a problem with that?
You got a problem with that, buddy?
You talk to me?
You think I'm funny? What's so funny about me?
Yeah, ha ha, funny, ha ha, funny what? Funny ha.
Funny, I'll tell you, man. He plays the best mobster for a guy that's like 4 foot tall.
Oh, Pesci, he was made for that. He was born for that role.
In Casino at the end, where him and his brother get kicked in baseball bat to death. Fuck, that's a brutal scene.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Did our consumer drop off, I guess? Okay.
He's on line 1 now.
Oh, he's on line 1. So, anyway, Anthony bought a car and it had a crap load of problems, or his girlfriend did. And, like, how much did you spend in total in repairs, Anthony?
So far, $2,400. I brought it to Tom, like you suggested, at Hands On Auto. He's been pretty helpful.
Yeah, and the reason I said that is, first and foremost, Tom Maggio at Hands On Auto Tech up north there in Longmont, he really knows his stuff. But also, I wanted to know, not just that a car has problems. How many miles were on this car, Anthony?
There's, over 150,000.
Right.
I can't be sure.
And I want to tell everyone this. When somebody calls me and says they had a problem with a used car, it's not always fraud. It's not always something that is actionable. Again, I've said this before. I've seen reporters on TV over the years. This is something I've never done. They'll go after a car dealer because people buy a used car with 100,000 or more miles on it and complain. Okay, the complaint isn't the story. Here's the story. Did the dealer contribute to it, lie about it, or hide it? That is the story. If a dealer didn't contribute to it, hide it, or lie about it, then it's not a story. It's an unfortunate situation because it was as is. So what I'm asking Tom Maggio to do is a very weird thing, although he's pretty smart. I'm asking him, is this normal wear and tear, or is this something, what does he think? Tom, go ahead.
I'll tell you what I've been experiencing lately. Dealerships are growing at a tremendous rate right now, but they don't have the technicians to look at all the cars they put on the lot. And I think that's what this vehicle is a victim of. I think it was sold without anybody inspecting it. I have a hard time believing Johnson would put this on their lot knowing all these problems and just ignore them all. It definitely looks like the car was just never inspected. Nothing was done before it was sold. Or they just...
And by the way, that's the whole definition of as is. Yeah. The whole definition of as is. But did you see anything that may have indicated that they covered something up or fixed it temporarily just to get it off the lot?
One thing that stuck out to me, they overfilled the power steering fluid. And that's one of the major repairs it needs, is a power steering fluid leak repair. The rack and pinion's leaking. And they filled it so high that if nobody had taken it to a mechanic for 3 or 4 months, it'd be that long before it ran out because of the leak.
Would that be considered a safety issue?
I don't know.
Power steering.
Yeah, but it's not we're talking a safety issue as regards the as-is sale. The as-is sale is very, very specific on what as.
Do I think he has legal grounds? No. You know, do I think Johnson, should step up to the plate and maybe help him out a little bit? Yes.
Okay.
But do they have to? No.
No, we have not gotten a lot of complaints on them. Maybe we should call them up. But, I mean, if they're starting to sell garbage, people should know they're selling garbage.
Anthony, the customer is your actual girlfriend, right? Not you?
That's accurate.
Did she ever ask them to help her out?
No, she's not the type to do that. She's very modest.
She should. I mean, based on what we found, this car had multiple problems. You should not approach it as if they owe it to you, but you should approach it as if this had multiple problems, and anyone who looked at it would have known. And had we known, we wouldn't have bought it. And is there anything you can do for us? That's the way I would approach it.
Sure. I mean, the 24 that we ate after we already bought it, good to go. But then these issues afterwards are still issues that they didn't notice.
They're not required to, Anthony. But maybe you present that to them, that you took to a mechanic, and the problems are so obvious. They should have known something, and they overfilled the power steering fluid because there was a leak in it. And see if they'll do anything for you. That's what I would do.
I need to also mention, I didn't expect anything to be done. I just wanted like a justification for a reputable place.
I think you should ask him. I really do. Anthony, I mean, I think you guys should ask him, can you guys help us out here? We just spent this much money, and we still have this problem and that problem, and we just think that you'd care more about your name. Can you help us, as opposed to you owe it to me? Please do it. Have her call, or you call, and get back to us. We would love to talk about it. So remember, Hands-On Auto Tech in Longmont area, or Loveland, Longmont, or up north. And you can look at them up on referralist.com. Scott, what's going on with E470? Hello, Scott.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good.
Thanks so much for taking my call.
What's going on with you?
I find you amazing.
Thank you.
So let's start with this. I ran a car dealership for 27 years.
Okay.
I'm out of the car business. I have a restaurant now in Lone Tree. I purchased 2 brand new Jeep Grand Cherokees from Auto Nation.
Wow.
On Arapahoe Road.
When did you buy them?
One for my wife. I bought them 2 years ago, April 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so when I'm there, obviously, I don't carry a razor blade around me to take out my E470 pass when I traded it in. And I asked the salesperson, I said, please take out my E470 pass because, I don't want anybody driving this thing around with my free pass.
Uh-oh.
And the salesperson assured me, I will take it off. So I go back the next day to finish some paperwork, and my car's out front, sold, my Range Rover. And the girl, the salesperson, she's all proud of herself. She's like, yeah, I sold it. As soon as we took it in, I sold it like 10 minutes later. I'm like, great.
Let me ask you this. Let's speed forward. Do you have a giant bill right now?
$766.60.
I wonder if you're, certainly the dealer's not responsible. You should have taken it off, even though they said they would, unless you have that in writing somewhere. But I wonder if 470 would give you a break if they know you actually didn't incur it.
They didn't. They lost. And they said, and I said, E470, I said, I talk to you guys every single year. And when I called them a couple of months, last month, they said, well, you still have a 2008 Corvette on here. You still have it. I said, I haven't owned that car for 10 years. I said, I've talked to you so many times since
Wait a minute. How much is racked up on how much is racked up on the Corvette?
Well, nothing's on the Corvette, but they still have the Corvette listed as a car I own for an E470 pass. Oh, the only car that has anything racked up is the Range Rover, the 2000, 18
well,
Range
I
Rover.
would take the owner to small claims court. I would take the new owner to small claims court.
How do I find out who that is?
Well, you have your VIN number. You can do a search.
Okay.
No, only DMV can do that.
Hold on, Mark. What about a Carfax? Wait, you can't get a Carfax?
Carfax will tell you who owns it.
It won't tell you who owned it.
Oh.
How about if you send a registered letter explaining the situation with the bill of sale showing that you sold the car?
Yeah.
And see if that helps.
See what they
That's
say.
a very simple thing to do.
Who send it to the owner now?
No.
470.
Get a copy of the bill of sale showing the date of the sale and a letter telling them that you are contesting the charge because you didn't own the car.
Here's the bottom
and see
line.
what happens.
Okay. The true bottom line is you didn't incur the charges.
You don't think the dealership has any responsibility on this?
No, I don't think you had a contract with them to do that. You didn't have a razor blade. I get it. And
They're selling my personal information on an automobile. It's like a HIPAA act.
No, they're not.
You know, if I go to the doctor, they can't sell my.
It's when the lunacy,
Scott. Seriously, man.
All right, you're right.
You're saying they had a fiduciary. You're saying they had a fiduciary. Yeah. So here's what I would do. But that doesn't mean, listen, man, that owner owes you. Really, they incurred it intentionally. I would.
Right.
Will the Jeep? Where'd you buy the Jeep Cherokees?
I bought two the same day at AutoNation Jeep on around the road.
Will AutoNation give you the names?
I've spoken to them several times. They actually won't call me back now. I've spoken with Tim Jackson at the CADA. Like I said, I ran a car dealership for 27 years, so I'm very familiar with this. If they had called my dealership,
but what did Tim say? Listen, why can't they give you the owner's name? Why can't they?
It's just the same reason they shouldn't sell my car.
All right, hold on. You can tell them, here's what you do. They must have taken a picture of the license plate.
No, she registered the car, but the E470 pass was still registering.
No, so, I'm asking you, with the license plate, I know you can get the name of a registered owner. I know you can. I've done it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I've done it. And all you have to do is pay online, and you can get the name.
Well, we have angels that can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Get us the.
You can't, but we can. But in general.
But Mark, I've done it online. They have. If you pay and give them a license.
Can you imagine if you see a hot chick driving down the road and you have her license, you can get all her home info? It doesn't happen,
Mark. I have done it. Now, maybe it was with the service our private eye gave me, but I've done it. So
I agree.
Here's what we're saying, Scott. If you get us a VIN and you get us his license plate number, either or, we will find you the owner, and then you can sue them in small claims court.
Have they canceled the transponder since?
Yeah, have you since canceled the transponder at least?
Yeah, I did. But again, I canceled it 2 years ago, and that didn't happen. So.
Every time we've had an E470 one where the vehicle has been sold, it's always been handled. I don't know why he can't handle this through E470.
Someone just called and said if he just shows E470 the bill of sale, they'll handle it.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Send him a letter with the bill of sale included.
That's what's happened every other call.
I've got that, and I asked them about that. They said, yeah, we can help you out. But you know what?
Listen.
Didn't press the issue, Tom.
I'm going to tell you, they can help you, Scott. They can. Get us the license plate and the VIN, please. I want to tell you a story. I bought a motorhome one time from out of state, and it had their plates on it until I got mine. And I drove through 470, and it went to them. They called 470 and got it removed. Okay, got it removed. It was their motorhome. For all intents and purposes, we made the transfer effective when I got my plates and stuff. So I was driving on their plates. They let me. I had spaced it out and drove on 470 or something. Racked up a few bills. They sent it to 470 saying, it's not me, it's this guy bought the... And they contacted me. So I think they will help you. Because they helped this person that sold me that motorhome.
They've helped every caller we've had in the last few years if it was legit and they no longer owned it. How many people get that little sticker up?
303-713-8255. Don't forget, waterpros.net if you want delicious drinking water at the best prices ever. Waterpros.net. I can't say enough about Paul the Waterman. Under $1,000 for drinking water. Never buy drinking water again from a bottle. And whole house conditioners around $2,000. 303-862-5554.
We move cars on and off our transponders and get new tags for different cars all online.
I'm telling you, it's a mountain out of molehill. All you need to do is show them the bill of sale, and it's a done
I
deal.
doubt I have the same three, right?
I agree, Doc.
Yeah, to get rid of that, to get rid of the bill. But for the future, you just go online and change your cars around, or ask for a new tag for your new car, a new transponder thing.
Sticker.
Yeah.
You can't get a vaccine anymore for free.
You can?
You better have health insurance. That's a good article. I wonder how many people know that.
It's going to cost $250.
If you're uninsured, you're going to get billed from the hospital or from whoever.
What about $250 or so?
A test is $100. I don't know how much the vaccine is.
The test is $100. Vaccine's got to be $6.
Or the vaccine's free, but the person putting in your arm gets a couple hundred.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. Go to that website. Make an appointment for your home for any floor coverings you're interested in. Buddy and Karen Mitchell are the experts to help you pick a floor. Then they have design consultants to help you with your design and integrating the floor coverings into your place. That's free of charge. Also, the best installers in the business and the best overall experience, not including the great prices. So all in all, you don't have a better package than SimplyFloorsInc.com. FixMyHome.com is the website. Fix It 24/7 is the company. And right now, for a limited time, you can get your furnace or AC completely refurbished, gone through, checked, adjusted with a no breakdown guarantee with their extreme clean special at just $24. People who have had Fix It in their home are amazed at the level of service they get. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. The people I trust for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Avoid supply chain shortages, and you can get new systems for as little as $77 a month. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939.
I am Eva Longoria, and I am so excited to share my...
Oh, God. Some people learn from everything and everyone.
Some people learn nothing
Stupid
from
people
anything or anybody.
Stupid people already have the answers.
Fucking good stock day, man. Walmart's off to the races.
So you and your boy gonna own that company before it's over with, huh?
We own a lot of stock in it, that's for sure.
You know, porch pirates have become a big fucking problem.
Not out where I live, brother. You'd have to be crazy. Walk up to one of us out there. You're liable to get shot or at least chased off with some form of animal.
I'm serious.
I'd be nervous as fuck walking up to some house in the woods. Oh, shit. My German Shepherd jumped the fucking fence if he thought something was up.
Yeah. My favorite cop still parks in the medium and follows me to your house. It was kind of funny, though.
I've gotten one ticket out there, but I fought it and won, but one ticket in like 7 years. Wonder whatever happened to that towing bill.
What one?
Oh, the one for
Yeah.
the free parking bill?
Yeah, that's a good name for it, actually. That's a great name for it, the free parking bill.
servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. OnlineServices.com.
As we age, we can't always plan on good health, but you can plan long-term care coverage to give peace of mind to you and your family. Hey, it's Mandy Cole, and a great way to learn about long-term care.
I'd be curious. I wonder when the vote is. It's going to be modified massively. I mean, it just makes no sense.
525 Advisors will explain how long-term care works.
God.
Coverage pays for, and you'll discover all the new options.
What happened? What went wrong in his subway shooter's life?
He's really upset about the subway.
Everybody's upset about the subway.
I like their new sandwiches.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was intentionally nuts.
You know why they're called submarine sandwiches? Because of the shape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then they pick up on that, I guess, for Subway, huh?
You know, where I grew up, they were never called that, ever.
They're called hoagies?
They were called hoagies.
Mm-hmm.
I never remembered submarine until I moved over.
No, because back east, Mike, we had Mike's Submarine. You remember? They were the best.
We had.
No, I mean, right where upstate New York.
Well, where I grew up was mostly Jersey, but it was always hoagies. Oh, I never even heard the submarine.
I never heard hoagies.
Mike's Sub was the best.
In 1970, and I remember it was 70 because I was at LA Trade Tech, and I went into a place called the Substation, and literally they have today's
12-footers.
No. The
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303
Tell them what you want.
713 talk 303 713 8355. Hello, Tanya. What's happening, Tanya?
I wanted to say, if the guy that you were just talking to with the tickets from E470,
Yeah.
you said if he had verification, like a bill of sale showing that he sold it.
Yeah.
If he comes up with a way, if he doesn't have a bill of sale, you should let us know. My husband sold a van of ours like almost a year ago, and on the new titles, you don't have to have a bill of sale, and you just sign it off on the title, which that's what he did. Unfortunately, let the guy take off with the van with our license plates. Well, now it's been towed and impounded. They want $1,000 to get it out. Plus, the Denver parking says, "Oh, you didn't respond within 20 days. Now you owe us $200." I said, "It's not our van.
They're not going to get it from you.
Nope. No. Denver parking says they'll just keep it on my record and keep tacking on late fees because I have no proof that we sold it because we don't have a bill of sale."
Yeah, but I'm telling you that if it's not yours, you're not going to have to pay.
The guy never went down and registered it. Is what happened.
He never.
He never. Yeah, we signed off on the title for him, and he never went down and put it in his name.
So you don't have any proof. That's the issue, that you don't have proof. It's not the issue.
Exactly.
It's not the issue that you are responsible. It's because they think you're the owner. So you are still the owner, except you don't have that title, do you?
No.
How much is it worth? How much is the vehicle worth?
Oh, nothing. I mean, it's junk. It's a 96 Ford van,
Well, let them crush it. I mean, I'll tell you, man, you really should take a copy of that title that you signed over. And I don't care what people say. I would always get a bill of sale. Always get a bill of sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's why I thought, if this guy found a different way to go about it and let you guys know, you should let the rest of us know.
Yeah, well, we don't have a different way. We just have the same old way, and that is the right way, which is bill of sale, title, registration you take with the license plate, and don't leave your plates on the car. Except I realized that I did leave my plate on the car yesterday, Mark, but it was a dealer, so I won't have a problem.
You should get credit on those tags.
Toward the next one, will they give you new tags, or can I use the old ones?
Well, if you get the old ones, you could use them. That saves you a few bucks, but it's the other money that's better.
They actually transfer the difference of ownership tax and all that?
Yep.
Good. 303-713-8255. Any and all calls, problems, questions, and complaints.
Yeah, it's called a substation. I've never seen a substation submarine sandwich before that.
I remember K&G Pizza in Westchester, Pennsylvania. They had hoagies and pizza.
That was so cool. You go around the corner, walk in the door.
Say, I want this, that.
And you just go online. They put it all in your sub sandwich. Call it the substation. Never heard of it before. Loved it. 70.
When you apply for a home loan, there are different options depending on your situation. With Rocket Mortgage,
just mean kids.
Different down payments, monthly payments, and closing costs will impact your loan and your budget. When you need a lender who works for you, Rocket can.
Rocky Mountain IV Medics.
The people I call every 3 weeks to come here to the studio, you can have them at your home. I've had them at my home. They're medical professionals, doctor supervised, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. You might get poked in the arm, but you don't get charged an arm and a leg. Here's the bottom line. You don't pay any more than like an IV bar. Hydration therapy is great for vitamin deficiencies, dehydration. If you have the flu, hangover, migraines, call them or text. Same day, same hour appointments. RockyMountainIVMedics.com, 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155. Call Frank Duran if you want to move that house and get top dollar. Now, this may sound opposite of that, but if you want to find a place at a great deal, call Frank Duran, because he can work either side of the fence for you. That's just the way it is. He has techniques for negotiating, whether you're buying or selling. I've used them for both for years. You should too. 303-920-1622. Team Duran, he's proud of Team Duran at RE/MAX Alliance and of everything they do to serve clients. They don't hold you to a long-term contract because they know they have to please you every day. 303-920-1622. Every day, I'll venture to say there's an insurance claim put in for a house. Broken pipes, hail, wind, storm, the fires, the fringe of the fires with ashes, soot, smoke. Whatever your insurance claim, please remember this, and I'm serious. You will never be treated, ever, fairly by your insurance company. You notice I never get insurance companies complaining when I say that because they know it's true, and we can prove it. Because in almost every single time you get a public adjuster, you get more money. Why? Because they know how the insurance companies cheat. They're insurance adjusters that work for you. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Call them. They'll do a free analysis of any claim you have, past or present. Yeah, even if they're past like 2 or 3 years, they can reopen them if you weren't treated properly. What they'll do is take a look, and if they take the case on small contingency, they'll get you way more money than you can ever get on your own. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. The website, CO, that stands for Colorado, COClaims.com. COClaims.com. 720-715-0000. That's Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, COClaims.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern.
I can't believe how much money this guy is spending on advertising.
What's that?
These commercials drive me crazy, but he's saturating the market.
You know what? There's what you call, and I've told people this, it's a tune-out factor. You will get a tune-out factor.
Yep.
You will.
Well, this guy is doing it. It's definitely overload.
Very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthy. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing
More than a dozen LA gangs are targeting some of the city's wealthiest. They're sending out crews in multiple cars to find, follow, and rob people driving high-end vehicles or wearing expensive jewelry.
Wow. Well, why not? I mean, shit, there's no laws down there.
I'm telling you, why are people surprised by this shit? When you think about the fucking shit that everyone has been spouting about, it's natural. People don't give a shit about crime.
They don't.
They're not punished. Why the fuck does no one cares? I said that people are soft on crime. Crime stats show crime is increasing, and we better get used to it on Nextdoor because somebody was complaining about a porch fire. A guy writes back saying, that's all opinion, not accurate. That's a matter of opinion. It's not a matter of opinion. Fucking crazy shit. Zoom. Jesus Christ.
What?
I just have to do all these fucking meetings on Zoom. Zoom's giving me more meetings than ever.
That's kind of cool. I didn't even know we had that. What is that?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Brian's got a suggestion for the guy that sold a car and was socked with $700 in 470 tolls because he left his plate on the car. Isn't that what he did? He left his plate? No, I'm sorry, his transponder, not his plate. Go ahead, sir. What is your suggestion? Or his sticker?
So, if you go to the Colorado DMV website, under Vehicle Services, there is a report release of liability form. It says you have to do it within 5 days, but if I were them, I would still fill this out. It may help the situation.
Really? And what happens after you fill that out?
It just notifies DMV that you no longer own that vehicle.
But
I've never had to do this, but I know it's there.
What is the form called?
Report release of liability. There's a link for
That's
it right
really
on
a good idea,
Vehicle
really. Are you serious? It's called release of liability.
Yeah, it's right there. You can't miss it.
And on the state website?
Colorado DMV website.
I found it.
Under Vehicle Services.
I found it, sir. Thank you very much. That's very cool. DMV, release of liability. Holy crap. That is a great idea. I never knew of that release of liability. Honest to goodness. Never knew about it.
Yep. Yeah, I found it because I sold an old vehicle to my nephew, and it got stolen, and I left my plates on, which I shouldn't have done. But luckily, they got it back. So.
Very cool. Thank you. Yeah. Release of liability. It's as big as... And I wonder what that releases you from on that.
Liability.
I mean, liability of what, though? I mean, there's...
It seems pretty odd you just fill that out and you're released of all liability.
I mean, think about that. So I think it's a good idea. So we'll see. Jody. Hi, Jody.
How are you?
What's going on, Jody?
My property manager, who has just tried to screw me over many times, I signed a 3-year lease with him.
Okay.
We talked about 3 years because I hesitated about 3 years because I was moving out of state. He never sent me a copy. I've asked him twice. Now he's telling me that he tries to double speak, and he said, no, the owners know they're not making as much money off of you. Maybe they want to sell, but would you mind moving out by the end of May?
Now, wait a minute, Jody. Hold on. Jody, how long, according to you, does your lease go?
Through August.
Okay, through August of this year.
Correct. And now he's saying it was over.
But you don't have a copy of it whatsoever. No emails or anything at all.
Nothing.
Oh, my gosh. So now he says he wants you out.
Well, he suggested, but I never got a 60-day notice.
Well, what do you mean 60-day notice? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I assume that if he really wanted me out, he would send me a 60-day notice.
Well, why? Where'd you pick up 60 days?
That's what he told. Well, he told me in the end of March that could I be out by the end of May.
I understand, but there's no requirement for a 60-day notice.
Okay.
Unless if it's in your lease, are you saying that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Why did you say 60 days?
Well, I assumed he would give me some formal notification.
Got it.
That's why I thought that.
Okay. Now, Jody, if you have a lease and he doesn't acknowledge it, how would you prove it?
I would walk in his office and ask for a hard copy with my wet signature.
Have you done that yet?
No, this just all came about. I mean, last month I was dealing with...
I want you to hold on because we have to explore this with our, maybe with our real estate attorney. I mean, because if you ask for a copy, what if he says you never signed a lease? I mean, there are scumbags that can do that. What are you talking about, Jody? Let's figure that out. I'm Tom Martino. Coming up, more.
Your mic is on, Tom.
Thank you.
But, why doesn't she ask him for a lease, a copy, and then call us if he doesn't give her one? I mean, duh. She hasn't even asked him for it.
Are you sure?
You just asked her, and she said no.
HD2 Denver. KW Denver, our radio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter. Mornings at 10. Streaming live.
Oh, more company now, huh?
Are you getting bored out there, Suze?
No, I'm not bored. Just ready to get out
Just
of
want
here.
a little company?
Ready for Vegas.
A little TLC? When are you going to
Who's
Vegas?
our new...
We leave right after the show.
Oh, you go for the weekend?
Yep. It's Mark's 50th.
Oh, right.
Seeing my favorite band 2 or 3 times.
Who's your favorite band?
The Killers.
This thing's that's what I can't.
So you want to be groupies?
Oh yeah, I'll leave my whole family if I can be a roadie for them. Everybody would be screwed.
Who's the new Daphne landscaper?
LEM.
They are all expected to survive. The White House says President Biden called Ukrainian President Zelensky today to update him on ongoing U.S. support for Ukraine. After that,
I checked our flight status. It's still the same for 5 o'clock, so I guess we'll have plenty of time now.
the Biden administration has extended the mask mandate on public transit.
So these guys don't really...
Recent COVID cases. This is ABC News. Pope Francis says the only...
Last time we were there, in the last 20 minutes, Ken, that we were there, I learned about these speakeasies that the Cosmopolitan has. So now I can't wait to go. Like, they have this old-fashioned whiskey barber shop, and the men's restroom door is a speakeasy.
You know, they have a couple of those here in Denver.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not surprised.
Yeah, there's one in Denver that I went to, up in the Highlands region. There was like a speakeasy that you went through a door.
Yeah.
There's one right down here in downtown Denver.
Yeah.
Well, not in downtown, but on the edge of downtown Denver. You know where, what's the name of the little Spanish restaurant used to be on the corner? But anyway, up the street there's an ice cream place.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're walking back to go park in the car, and we went, what the hell is this line coming out of this ice cream place for? And then when we got there, the line wasn't even for ice cream. So I step up next to one of the little hipsters, you know, had a little top notch. I said, what's this line all about? He said, you don't know about the speakeasy?
Oh, cool.
And then I look back there, and when the door opens, it opens up into a whole arena in the back of this ice cream parlor.
That's cool.
Like,
Austin has a lot of them. They're kind of known for them.
Austin's supposed to be a great city.
It is. It was a lot of fun when I was there. I think it's changed a little since COVID.
One of my best friends used to come out of Austin.
Yeah.
So it's a very young, hip city, lots of music.
Yeah, tons of music. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, live music like basically in every bar in their downtown. It's a lot
And
of
have you
fun.
been to Nashville? Is that the same
That's
thing?
where we're going on our big road trip.
Have you been there yet?
No, that's been on my budget
Okay.
list. I can't wait.
Well, you guys love live music.
Yeah, a lot. So yeah, really excited. And I can't believe Mark's going to be the big 5-0.
He's going to be fit.
Can you believe it?
Well, in 2 years, you're going to celebrate my big 8-0.
Really? Ooh. Nice, Ken.
I would rather be 50 than 80, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But my mind says I'm still 30, you know?
Yeah.
You just don't age. Don't you feel that way, till
I feel that way at
Your
my
brain
age.
gets
I
feel
feel
younger
that
than
way
me.
right up until I bump into something, fall down, or
Then you
try to
hurt.
do something that my 30-year-old mind is telling me to do, and my 70-year-old body's saying,
This can't
Yeah.
do it.
you
That
lost
is
your mind.
so true.
You can't do that. You can't do that. But I'll be able to do some of it when you finish.
You're going to be
fixing
all
up.
patched up next week.
Well, I'll be patched up.
Wait, is that when you're having it done?
Yeah.
18th, 19th.
Also,
Don't mix your dates up.
You guys won't be here tomorrow?
No.
They'll leave you and I'm going to have to carry the show.
Hey,
With
as long
Mark on.
as we got a bucket with no holes in it, we'll be fine.
You calling your doctor?
Okay.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more...
Hi, this is Tom Martino, and I'm supposed to drop by there today.
Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Can I set these up on something different and run nothing with this out here?
On 630 KHEL. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
So this is interesting. There's a clip of Putin, I don't know when it was from, said that in 2000, he asked Clinton, how would the U.S. feel about Russia joining NATO?
And Clinton responded with,
He doesn't say. But the whole point of NATO was to be protected against Russia.
mm-hmm. So we just let the bear into the chicken coop, huh?
Right.
So text the word secure to 989898.
You got that your bear, not the fox, right?
So what do you think about that, Tom? It was just a clip of Putin saying that in 2000, when Clinton visited Moscow, he asked if Russia could join NATO. Putin asked Clinton, which is kind of weird because the whole point of NATO was to protect against.
Tom Martino. Hi,
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This is where you get help, information, and referrals on anything bothering you. Give us a call at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com for help with any kind of pain or inflammation, even anxiety. It's great for traveling. People love it. And, of course, it's THC-free or minute THC, depending on what formulation you get. They even have makeup and cosmetics, which have the anti-inflammatory properties, great eye serums. RealCBDThatWorks.com. I swear by it. And you can get 30% off with Tom and the promo code. Welcome. So, listen, Jody said she signed a lease, goes through August of 2022. Now the property manager wants her out. When did he say that you should be out? When did he say you should be out?
I'd like to know if I could be out by the end of May.
By the end of May. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Wait, but he asked you. He didn't tell you had to, correct?
No.
Well,
he said to me, it took him about 60 seconds to basically say the owners know they're not making enough money on you, and they could make more money if they rent it out. Maybe they want to sell, but would you mind being out by May? That's essentially what he was trying to say.
Yeah, do you mind being out by May?
Oh, well, that's totally different.
That's what I'm just saying. But, Dodie, did you ever ask him for a copy of your lease?
I have asked him twice, and I just assumed being a property manager that you would just legally do the right thing.
Right.
And you,
I agree. A lot of renters do that, by the way. They assume they're going to get a copy after they sign it, and they end up not getting it, and they don't know why.
I bet if Doc called over there, he could get a copy of the lease for her.
Well, I would rather walk in and just ask him for the original copy.
Well, it doesn't have to be original, by the way, but that's fine.
I would not trust that he on the computer didn't scan something and change the numbers.
Now, do you think there's...
That concerns me.
Let me ask you something. Do you think there's something else going on? I mean, he didn't say you must be out, so do you think there's something...
Owners, okay, here's my thought process on it. He doesn't want to give me a notice and tell me to get out because I believe it's illegal to tell me to leave and then rent it out for more money. So he's hoping I just do it and give him a 30-day notice.
Oh, I get it. I get it. But why can't he just wait till August? That's not the end of the world.
Well, because he told me that I only have a 2-year lease. And I know that we talked about a 3-year lease.
Well, hold on. You said no matter what, the lease is up August 2022, right?
Well, in my head. Now, he's telling me that, oh, no, it was only 2 years. It's like, no, we talked about 3 years.
Okay. He's telling you it was up last August of 2021.
Correct.
I doubt it. Because if that was the case, listen to what he could do. He could give you notice that he's raising your rent. He wouldn't have to get rid of you to rent it for more money. If your lease was truly up in August of 2021, he could simply raise your rent.
Correct.
So I don't believe him. I don't know what's going on, actually. I think maybe that the landlord probably is trying to sell it.
And the fact that he asked rather than told her means that he knows the lease is effective until August. Otherwise, he would have just told her to leave.
But here's what we'll do. We'll call over there and ask for a copy of the lease unless you want to do it. If you want to do it, that's fine. Now, we have a comment on that. Bob, what is your comment?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
I've been in the real estate business since '74. And here's what I would do if I were that lady. I'll be out by the end of May. Give me $1,500 to move.
You know what? You can negotiate like that. You really can.
Sure.
You know, I mean, even
moving money.
You know, there were people in the past that had that trouble. You're right. You're absolutely right. Where they wanted to sell or get somebody out early, and there's nothing wrong with asking for a stipend to do that. Good idea. Good idea. 303-713-TALK. And, Suze, when you get a chance, maybe we'll have a lull in this hour where you can call Compass and find out about autonomous driving. Mike, what about you, Mike? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm 67 years old. I just recently had a stroke, and I get Social Security check.
So you get, let me get this. You get Social Security disability right now. You're 57, right?
Right.
Okay.
No, 67.
Oh, 67. Oh, I'm sorry. So you're on full Social Security benefits, right?
Right.
Okay.
And and then I recently had a stroke. So,
Okay.
My Social Security don't cover my rent, so I got a part-time job doing DoorDash. And my car recently went out on me, and I managed to save like a couple of $1,000 up during the time I was working. But now I was just wondering if one of your audience had a car, a $2,000 car I could buy. I went to car lots for days.
Oh my God! There are no $2,000 cars around in DJ. Do find one, it's going to be a piece of junk. Let me ask you something, Mike. Are you looking to have something like a car to do DoorDash?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how it looks, just as long as it runs.
Well, I know, but the problem is they're not going to run even at $2,000 anymore. I mean, honest to God, $2,000 doesn't get you anything. You recently had a stroke. You're on Social Security, so you don't have enough to make ends meet, right? You don't have enough to pay your bills.
No. I got the DoorDash job to help me cover my rent, but now I'm without a car, so.
Okay. Okay. And what about, you're on Medicare, right?
Right.
Okay. And let's see what else. So DoorDash, what happened to your previous car?
My flywheel, all the teeth on my flywheel were grinded down, and it'll cost way too much money to get it fixed. The car wasn't worth that much. So I have to let it go.
Here's the only thing Mike, the only thing we can do is just see if somebody has an old car they want to give away. I mean, really, or 2,000. I mean, yeah, if we can find someone who would do you a favor and sell something for $2,000, it would have to be a private owner who has an old piece of crap that doesn't want it anymore. I hate to put it in those terms, but man, you can almost get $2,000 just for metal now.
It's going to cost them more than $2,000 to fix up a $2,000 car. How much would it cost to fix the car you have now?
I already sent it to the junkyard. It was going to cost like $2,500 to get it fixed.
Well, you're better off spending $2,500.
Well, it would have been, but he got rid of it. He got rid of it.
I got rid of it. It wasn't only the flywheel, the whole everything was going wrong with the car, so I just let it go.
No, I know what you're saying. How many miles were on it?
175.
What kind of car was it?
Mercury Mateo.
Okay. So you're looking, and where have you looked so far?
I looked at mostly all your car lots in North Denver, Westminster, and nobody went out to look at for $2,000.
Well, no, they have nothing to look at for $2,000.
And even if you find something,
even if you find something, then you got registration and insurance and license plates, and which is registration, of course. I mean, God,
I can't afford to pay payments because.
No, I know what you're saying, Mike. Mike, listen, man. That's why I'm on the phone with you, and I didn't just say forget it and hang up, because I'm trying to figure out something. Maybe one of our listeners has an idea. Maybe they have a car they'll let go. Well, here's what we can do. We can take your number and hope that if someone does have a car, can help that they'll let go. Maybe they will. So hang on a second. Suze, just take his number on the off chance somebody has an old car they want to sell. He's got $2,000, something running, or if you want to donate it or get rid of it, give us a call.
God, prices are crazy right now, man. Crazy.
You can get almost, remember those push, pull, or drag in trade-in? Right now, you can almost get $4,000 for anything.
Sell them that Mercedes, Talib.
Yeah, 303.
Come get it.
713 talk. 303-713-8255. What we have to do is ask anyone who might have a car for Mike to donate or to sell maybe $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, who knows. The guy's in a bad way. Listen, I feel for you, man. Hang in there. Hold on. We'll take your number and try to find something. Stick around for more. We're going to also talk about autonomous insurance if we can find it.
You feel so sorry for this guy.
Will it last a little bit?
As long as he doesn't get out there and drive it like a race car, I plan on it lasting until next winter. But when it's cold, you gotta warm it up.
Yeah.
I mean really warm it up. I want to take it over here to Sheridan and have him look at the dang transmission, but he.
No, you don't.
No, well then no, then this car's gonna die soon.
Yeah.
It's literally gonna die.
If you know there's something wrong with the tranny, there's
John Fuller. Fuller Law, a personal injury attorney
who can collect damages for you and can work with you on any accident if he takes the case. And John Fuller is honest about the cases he takes. He won't take anything unless he thinks he can help you. He works on a small contingency basis, meaning that he takes a percentage of what he collects for you. But here's the most important part about Fuller Law. He's a personal injury attorney, an accident lawyer who truly is small by design. You have to understand this. He doesn't want so many clients that they're all just a number, like some of these big firms. I don't care what they tell you. That's what you are. The bigger they are, the smaller you are. John Fuller wants to know each and every client and work for you personally, along with his team. That's why my accident lawyer, the expert on this show, can be your accident lawyer. At myaccidentlawyer.co, myaccidentlawyer.co. Smaller by design for better service. 303-597-4500. Blake Harris Law will answer your questions about estate planning. All you have to do is call him. And he truly will give you his information free of charge. And then he only charges when you actually hire him, because that's what he does. He will answer questions and then make suggestions on what you need. And when you hire him, he'll give you a flat rate price on a will or a trust, maybe just a beneficiary's deed to keep you out of probate altogether. Whatever it is, ask your questions, but don't put it off. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE. The main thing we think about in retirement is income. I know that. You know, listen, I'm probably past regular retirement age. I'm thinking about income, and you should too. You can build up income starting in the earlier the better. But no matter what, there are some sound ideas at this website, mymoneymyway.com. One of them is buying an annuity that will give you guaranteed income for life. The more you put in, the more you get out. But it's guaranteed. And here's the other thing. You can do it a little at a time, monthly, or if you have a lump sum from a retirement plan or a qualified plan, you can roll it into it. Find out more at mymoneymyway.com.
When you're sick, injured, or
Biden hit a 38% in approval polls. Hey, look at this, Tom. Guess who's flying around on this fucker?
What are we talking about?
Guess who's flying around on that fucker?
Who?
Have you seen those?
Yeah, who?
Scott, Excavation Scott. He bought that. He's zipping around town in that fucking.
No shit. Have you seen him lately?
Or what?
No, it's that's what it looks like.
Have you seen him?
Whoa.
And that's him.
He's married now, right?
Oh, the parasailing with powered parasail.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got an engine on that fucker,
Yeah.
Tom. It's like a backpack engine. He like flies around.
Right, on a parasail.
Yeah, he doesn't just jump out of a plane. He flies around.
No, I understand that.
I guess they're pretty safe because what? Big deal if the engine goes out, you're on a parachute.
Yeah, exactly. Come down.
Now, if someone cuts it all, that could be a problem. Wonder what that setup costs. I could get into that, actually. You got to have probably a pretty big open space, though, right?
Yeah, you got to jump off a cliff that's overlooking a plane.
No. He runs. He takes off right from the ground. At least I think.
No, he can.
Yeah.
Yes, you put the sails behind you, you lean into the wind. As soon as it starts lifting and your engine starts going,
yeah,
it'll pull you, it'll pick you up.
Would you do it? If your back was good and shit?
I would do it with a bad back.
Yeah, I think I'd do it too.
I'd do it.
I'm gonna get them to come out to the house. I just wonder if we can do it in my house. There's a lot of fucking trees.
Maybe coming up out of your that center that you guys have there, where you land the helicopter, you might be able to take off out of there.
That's really fucking cool. I could fly up next to his helicopter. Fuck that. Wouldn't that be fun? What would you do? You're cruising along in your helicopter.
Those things look like fun to me. But
they look like a blast.
And I don't think you can get hurt unless you're an idiot.
Yeah, you'd have to fuck up.
No, but you can stall them. If you pull that in and it gets inversed.
Well, that's just like any parachute, though. People die doing that on parachutes, come down and break their back. Oh, I had a question for you on that helicopter. I was watching you take off the other day. If you took off, and I know well, I don't know if yours can do it or not, but if you have the right skids to land in water, when you take off in water, you have to have more thrust, don't you? Because water it's not cement.
Yeah, but you're not pressing down on the surface. A lot of people think.
So there's no difference?
No. People think helicopters push down and lift with thrust. They would never lift off the ground if that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you're saying on a water takeoff, you don't need to do anything different. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. As far as power.
That's right.
Wait, why wouldn't you need more power? Because of the water tension.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We got a towing issue here. Oh, we have Brian on? Okay, good. Brian Burns is with Compass Insurance Group. We wanted to check in with him, too, because we had some questions. Brian, who handles all my insurance, Mark's insurance, everybody I know. And anyway, it's Compass Insurance Group, home of the insurance checkup, by the way, which is important. They can tell you if you're underinsured or if you're paying too much for what you have. Hey, Brian, let's get right to it now. Autonomous driving. I know the insurance industry has to be contemplating this, and even now some of the cars you insure have some level of self-driving. What about, I'm at a restaurant. I believe Mark and I both have cars that you can summon that will literally come to you. Think about that. What if it hits somebody or does something wrong? Is that going to be covered or not?
I mean, I think it. To answer you honestly, I don't know for a fact, just because we haven't had any data coming down to us yet about how they're going to handle these. But I would say this is still going to fall underneath liability because you're the one that directed this. It would be your liability. You chose to have this car go and move. So if it hit something along the way, I would imagine also that the insurance company would be looking pretty closely at the actual manufacturer, because I'm sure they're touting the fact that their vehicles don't do that, don't run into
or even self-parking, not even summoning it to come and get you, but self-parking. Right. Like if you want to self-park it and somebody runs out in front of it, I don't know, something. I guess what I'm getting at is this is a whole new world. It's a whole new world.
I know it.
And you would think the insurance industry has to be thinking about it, and right now would have words that, we're not going to cover you on auto driving.
Yeah, is there any exclusions that in our policies?
Nope, nothing. And especially with obviously the auto drive on the highways where you can allow that to take over, especially obviously with some of the electric cars, that kind of stuff that have that capability. And I know it's extended into other vehicles too, but there's no exclusion on that kind of thing if there was an accident while that was happening.
Okay. So, but right now, the insurance, as you know it, the insurance industry is not asking those questions.
Nope, they are not. They're not asking about the self-summoning. Now, is that fully legal? Even in
I don't even know if it's legal. I know it. I know they do it, and I know the self-parking. And I mean not self-parking being in the car, although you can be. There's a self-parking mode where you can get out of the car and press the button, and it finds a space and parks. I mean, it's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, no, it'd be really cool to have. Yeah, there's nothing in a policy that even deals with it right now. So there's not an exclusion on a policy for it. But I'll get more information. It's a great subject. I'll find out some more because we are having some kind of seminar for one of these insurance companies talking about electric vehicles. So,
okay, and interesting on insurance. I want to bring this up because I was told by this transport company that I'm using that more and more people are buying out of state. because just selection is so limited. So if you go to another market where there's not as many people looking, you have a better chance of finding a car. Now, I don't recommend people do this for used cars if they don't have somebody to check them out. But on new cars, with a good dealer, it's not a bad deal. So what I'm asking you is, now I chose to call you as soon as the deal closed to get me covered. So it's sitting on their lot now being picked up by a transport company. But who covers that car if the transport damages it or if it's damaged on that lot? Is it now mine?
It's now, once you become the legal owner of it, you have the insurable interest, so then you, your insurance will cover you. Now, obviously, the transport company may have a responsibility that would be subrogated against if something happened, but you would turn it into your own insurance for the claim.
So do you suggest, because I know people who have bought cars out of state, had them transported, and before people think that's extravagant, by the way, you can Colorado, Denver is such a hot market. In many cases, you can find a car elsewhere, have it transported cheaper than the price of the car here. But in any case, what I'm saying is if you have a car transported, some people wait till it's delivered before they call their insurance guy. I mean, that gets messy, doesn't it?
It does. Your insurance policy, most policies will have automatic coverage extending to a new purchase of a vehicle.
Okay.
But then Mark and I had this conversation the other day. The thing is the first question they ask is, when was it purchased? And they backdate the insurance to that date. So it's not like you're saving any money by doing it that way. And there could be complications. Let's say something does happen to the car. You haven't added it yet. It's just a complication that doesn't need to be there. I would recommend just that when you know you're going to own the car, when you actually own the car, you might as well just get it added on. If you forget to do it, it's not the end of the world because you have some automatic coverage, but it's ultimately not saving you anything.
I got it.
There is something about possession in Colorado, and I agree
with
everything you guys are saying. I know you have to legally take possession of the vehicle. So in other words, I go in, I buy a car, the car's coming in 4 or 5 days, but all the paperwork's done, everything's done, and it falls off the truck. I still hadn't taken possession of that vehicle so I could get out of the deal.
Really?
Absolutely. I don't know all the ins and outs out of it, but in this state, you have to take possession of the vehicle.
And another thing...
Mark, hold on. I have seen where people have signed on the dotted line but haven't taken possession, try to get out of a deal, and they couldn't.
Well, I'm not saying they can't get out of the deal. I'm saying to legally own the vehicle at some point, you have to take possession of the vehiel.
But technically, possession doesn't necessarily mean physical possession.
You know who's going to know the answer?
Who?
Jim Janicelli.
We should ask, because here's why.
Let's see if we can get Jim on.
Because here's why. Some people will argue when you sign all the paperwork, you have taken possession, even though you haven't driven it.
I'm not saying people will or won't argue it. I'm saying in the state of Colorado, you have to take possession.
So, Brian, then an insurance company could say you didn't take possession, we're not covering it. And you've never seen that happen, have you?
Never seen. Well, I mean, the chance of it not ever showing up or being damaged on the way isn't a real likely situation either. But I guess I would put it this way. I would definitely insure it because I wouldn't want the hassle of saying, well, I didn't ever take possession, so now I don't owe it. I mean, at least you have covered yourself if you are responsible for it.
And Brian, let me ask you a question. If you have an old car without comprehensive and you buy a new car, you would just have that same policy without comprehensive. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it's the best coverage on your policy is what extends to that new car.
Right. So people need to make sure.
And 3 of them are liability only, and you have 1 with collision and comp. The collision and comp would extend. But if you have no collision or comp, then you don't have any coverage for the damage of that vehicle extending.
Right. So you really need to know what your policy is.
Correct.
Okay, 303-713-8255. We have a question coming up on Wyatt's Towing. So stick around. That's Brian Burns, Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000 for the insurance checkup.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW, Denver.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
There's an accident on eastbound I-70 just before Airport Boulevard, blocking the right lane, jamming things back to the 225 interchange. About a 20-minute delay through there. The rest of the highway drive around the metro area in good shape, but up to the north, Foothills Highway closed south of Lyons between St. Vrain Road and Left-Hand Canyon because of an accident that happened this morning. And off freeway, just getting a report of a rollover accident in the Southlands at the Aurora Parkway and Orchard. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon. Will drop down into the low 20s overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow for your Thursday with a high in the mid-50s. It's 38 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
If your company needs to spring into efficient hiring, then check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
American Restoration. The company to call, American Restoration 24/7, for any property damage, property insults, mold, asbestos, a meth lab, unattended death, fire, flood, broken pipes. If your property needs the damage mitigated and you need help getting rid of any toxic substances, that's what American Restoration does. And beware of restoration companies. I'm going to say it like it is. Most of them are lying, cheating ripoffs. That's just the way it is. American Restoration is a great company. I know Rock and his team for years, and they will do the job right. American Restoration, 8337-AMREST. They'll work with your insurance. They'll work with your public adjuster. They'll work with you. They can do as much or as little as you want. Don't think, my insurance is paying, it doesn't matter. It does matter, because once your insurance pays, they're not going to pay again if you wasted your money on a schlock company. Call American Restoration first. 8337-AMREST. 8337-AMREST. Online, amrest247.com. If you're looking for a reverse loan, Empower Reverse can help you. Empower Reverse Mortgage, Mark Massey and his team. They'll counsel you through the process to make sure you get the right one for your needs, whether a lump sum monthly payments or a line of credit. And they'll make sure they structure it so you're not upside down ever in a reverse loan. 720-500-7719. They even have some reverse loans that go as low as 55 years of age. 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719.
It's an 8-day course. They fly 4 hours.
8 days. Now at KurtCambier.com for your free portfolio analysis.
No. 2 different questions. I said, how long to learn it? He said it's an 8-day course. And then I said, how long can you fly? 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
So gas will last you 4 hours. Now, do you think, how fast do you think that would? Can I fly that? Can I fly it to the fucking store? If we had a place to land.
Probably could.
Oh, man, I'll never get Suzanne to fucking do it, though.
What, fly to the store?
Hey, can you get Janicelli's on? He's ready.
Is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz, all the latest colors.
8-day course in Arizona. They said, it really is saying the only unsafe thing is wind. You get up there in 100-mile-an-hour wind, you're probably going to die.
Actually, it's both. But considering bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first
I bet my daughter would get into it with me, though.
Bacteria and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you...
Now I'm getting all kinds of inquiries on people want to buy
Navage isn't medicine.
I got to go
like
cancel it.
Plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
I should have had done right to it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering a project. Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, owner of Dunright Kitchens and Baths. What do you want to talk to them about? You make people happy. In particular, just
Possession of a vehicle. Does someone have to take possession of the vehicle?
No, that's not the question, but okay.
He knows what I mean because
Yeah.
we've talked about it. So I understand what you're saying, but he knows what I mean.
And save you capture 15% off all roofing this spring, including Class 4 roofing from OC, F-Wave, and EuroShield. For information and restrictions, visit hwindows.com. KH
She's going to die when she sees this. And yeah. She's going to bug me forever to get one now. This is going to give me a reason to get one.
Fairway Collision Center is a family.
So that's how you do it, huh? You get your kids excited.
I got to find someone to do it with. I know Tom won't do it with me. I know Suzanne won't do it with me. You might do it occasionally, but I mean, you know.
You say I won't do it with you?
I can't see you doing that.
Why?
Oh, why?
I love it. I would love that. In fact,
would you really?
Yeah. I took gliding lessons.
Fuck, that could be cool as shit, man. It's so fucking cheap. I mean, you know, relative to any other form of flying.
Yeah. I wonder what got him into it. You know,
he was. I'll tell you. So I met him. He happened to be with his son out in Moab the same time Suzanne and I were. And I was telling him Miles and I were going skydiving. He said, holy shit, I've never fucking done it. I'm going to take my kid. So him and his kid went out and skydived, and he was doing my job at this time. And he loved it so much, that's exactly why he's doing it. That's what got him into it with skydiving. And that's probably why I thought you'd never like it, because you said you'd never fucking skydive.
No, I don't like to drop it.
Just a free fall.
I don't like the idea of jumping out. I don't mind going up and coming back down.
That's the scariest part, is literally sitting on the edge of the plane.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Michael, I promise we'll get to you in a second here. I just want to ask Jim Janicelli something. Jim, we had a discussion on buying cars, and theoretically, if someone signs all of the documents, including financing and everything, is it true that if they don't physically get the keys, get in the car, and take it, that it's not a done deal? Can they rescind the deal?
Only if they didn't take the car because they didn't want to finalize the deal. So if they left the car and they said, you know, hey, I'm going to leave it here for a week, I'm going out of town, or I want you guys to put on new tires or things like that, then the state of Colorado considers it a consummated deal.
Okay, but let's say they sign all the paperwork, including financing. They're walking out to the car, and they say, you know what, I just don't feel good about this. Or they leave for a couple days, or they leave for a day and say they'll come back. They come back and say, we changed our mind. What happens then?
Yeah, unless there's something that I'm not hearing, then no, they are not bound to the contract.
Really? Even though they signed it?
Yeah, no, unless something's changed, Tom. I really haven't discussed this with the state in years, but that was the deal. Was if a customer doesn't take the car, and it's literally, well, if they're still on the lot and they're walking towards the car, no, they're not bound to that car.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not.
You can rip up the paperwork. You're not going to say, well, shoot. Okay, what if the car is registered? You guys send the title work. Oh, wait, you don't get it registered, though. You just send the title work, right?
Correct. That's correct.
What if do you send off the title work before a car is actually delivered?
Well, no, that would be very rare. No, generally people take the car. So if they
that's right.
If they, I mean, that's the reality. So if they don't take the car, I can't speak for another dealership, but the reality is something's wrong.
Now, the reason we bring this up is people, you guys, I know you do a lot of business and you ship cars out of state.
Sure.
When did you deliver that car? When he gets it at the other end, or when the transport company picks it up?
No, in a case like that, once all the documents are signed, it's done. So in a case where we're delivering the car or the consumer is sending the transport himself, once that document is signed, and to confirm that, we will tell the customer that we're sending the paperwork into the bank. Let's say, we've got financing for them, and we'll get the contract cashed often before the transport company shows up. That's a whole different scenario. Delivering a car or having one picked up by a consumer, that deal is consummated once all the paperwork's done.
But they technically did not.
We're leaving the lot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a little different. The scenarios are.
But what makes it different? And I'm not trying to give you a hard time. What makes it?
Okay.
What makes it different?
In the state of Colorado's mind, the only thing that keeps the deal from being consummated, if we're talking about delivery of the car, is if the consumer chose not to take the car.
Okay, got it.
And in this case, you're telling me they didn't take the car the same day, so no, that's not consummated. And if they go out.
Okay, so in the case of a deal I had where I sent the money and I signed all the paperwork, and then the transport company contacted me and said, when do you want the car picked up? And I say on Friday, and then on Thursday I call and say, forget it, I changed my mind. I'm wondering what that dealer, of course, that's another state, but I wonder what would happen if you guys sold a car like that and somebody was supposed to pick it up, but the transporter was supposed to pick it up on a Friday, and the consumer calls on Thursday or Wednesday and says, I changed my mind. Was that car delivered?
Yeah. Okay, so there's two answers. Answer number one has to do with what the dealer wants to do. If the dealer says, okay, that happens, sir, no problem, we'll just rescind the deal. The dealer has the right to rescind the deal. But the state of Colorado, in that case, I believe is going to say if the dealer doesn't rescind the deal, that the consumer's bound by the deal.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I appreciate the information. And again, this is all new territory. And as Jim says, that doesn't happen a lot. I mean, it really doesn't. And I don't think we've had a call on that for years. And Jim Janicelli's with Colorado Springs Dodge. We appreciate that. Now, Michael, what's going on now, Michael? Let's talk about why it's towing. What happened? What's going on?
So, for some reason, Wyatt's towed my vehicle at midnight last night.
Wait, so where was your car? Where was it?
It was in the parking lot of my apartment complex.
And was it legal? Do you have is your registration up to date? Your plates up to date?
Most definitely, everything's up to date.
Where were you parked in an illegal spot?
Well, come to find out, whenever I thought that my vehicle was stolen at first, calling the police just to find out that it had been towed, I need a parking pass. But
so you never knew you need a parking? You never knew you needed one before this?
No, sir. I've never known, and I've lived here since November at this apartment complex.
And when was the first time you heard about a parking pass?
This morning when my truck came up missing.
And you've never, when you signed up or everything, no one ever told you about a parking pass?
Ever.
And then you called, and the manager said to you, oh, you didn't have a pass?
Well, the towing company actually told me. So I didn't even get a word from a manager.
Okay. How much did it, and you didn't get any warning?
No warning.
Is there signs?
Are there? Well, what would the sign say? Are there signs
Parking by permit only?
Are there signs that say permit needed?
Let me look at this photo. I got a photo taken that way I could read it. So unauthorized or illegal parked vehicles will be towed at vehicle owner's expense, private parking, but it doesn't. Hold on, but it doesn't say permit required. Because, see, that's the thing I have, Mark. If it says unauthorized, he can say, well, it's not unauthorized. I live here. I don't get it. There was nowhere ever that mentioned a permit, ever. Hello? Never.
Okay.
Yeah, never.
Did you talk to your apartment management?
I did. I called my landlord.
And what does the hold on. Let me get this straight, though. Is this a condo that you're renting from an owner who has who's in the complex, or is the complex one landlord?
No, sir. You're correct the way you had it. It's a condominium.
Okay, you're renting from a private owner. They should have told you about the parking permit. Someone should have told you about the parking permit, man, because you're not renting from a central office. You're renting from an owner, and that owner, I believe, as a landlord, had an obligation to tell you you needed a parking permit.
And, Michael, you said something I just don't like. This has always driven me crazy.
driven.
The HOA or the apartment complex, depending on the case, are the ones that set the rules. Wyatt's doesn't just come in there or any other tow facility and just start towing stuff willy-nilly. They do exactly what they're told to do.
I don't think you have an argument with the condo complex either. They have a right to require permits. Now, I believe their signs should be more explicit. I really do. But as an owner of that complex, as an owner of that condo, your landlord should have known that. And I think now this is going to be a hell of a thing because you're going to have to go after your landlord for the cost.
Gotcha.
So, man, I'm telling you, that's where the fault lies.
Well, at least you got to call him up and ask him.
I would pay it.
I talked to him. Believe me.
And what did he say? Did he acknowledge you're supposed to have a permit or what?
No, he didn't even know. So apparently he's a new owner.
Well, that's tough on him. He's an investor. He bought it. He rented it out at your peril. I'm sorry. I'd pay it and then go after him in small claims court, but he owes you the money, whether he likes it or not. Or at least let's split it with him.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
An accident on eastbound I-70 just before Airport Boulevard. Looks like it's just about out of the way. Still slow on that stretch from Peoria. No other problems on the rest of the highway drive around town. But to the north, Foothills Highway is still closed south of Lyons between St. Vrain Road and Left-Hand Canyon because of an accident that happened this morning. And a couple crashes off freeway, one at Orchard and Quebec, and also an accident in Arvada at 80th and Indiana. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon. Will drop down into the low 20s overnight tonight. It's 38 right now in Denver. With your impact.
If April is showering your company with open job positions, check out Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your pay and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Let's talk about Zero Res Denver. You know what I like about Zero Res Denver, the carpet cleaning company? Nothing. Meaning, I like that they use nothing but water to clean your carpet. Empowered water, they call it. And it is, by the way, it is patented. It's such a great process that super softens that water so the molecules go deep into the carpet and clean. And I'll tell you this, they have a scrubbing technique too, and together they get your carpets like new with no gooey residue left behind, so your carpets dry faster and stay clean longer. ZeroResDenver.com, the only carpet company that I've used in my home. Right now, 3-room areas, just $99. Of course, you can have more done if you want. ZeroResDenver.com. Zero Res. For the Zero Res they leave behind. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150.
I got a challenge for you, and I mean a real challenge, and the best thing it's going to be is you're going to get free money. And here's what it is. If you've had any claim on your homeowners or even a commercial policy, let's say a hailstorm or maybe these fires out there, and you're in the middle of, or the claim was finished up to the last 2 years, I challenge you to call Matt at Paragon Services, because I bet you he gets you a ton more money on that claim, whether it's open or whether it's been closed in the last 2 years. Let's say you had a hailstorm last year and you got $20,000 in a new roof. I bet Matt can look at that and get you another 10 grand. No, it's not a new claim. It's legitimately the money the insurance company should have paid you, but did not. He's a public adjuster, and these insurance companies want to leave out profit and overhead, and they want to leave out all kinds of things that they owe you. Call up the expert that I use. Matt got me $70,000 that my insurance company did not want to pay. 719-726-0020. Matt, Paragon Services, 719-726-0020.
When interest rates rise, credit card debt gets way more expensive.
I got to see that again. Will it loop?
Yeah.
Reminding you that a cash-out refinance is a strategic
Oh my God, that was funny.
Rate and excess cash. You'll be able to spend less on
Tom, watch this.
Up to $1,000 a month.
Watch this. Grab it. It's the Chris Rock in the slap.
You're going to get a free mortgage review before you start.
It's up close. You see what really happened. Give it to Todd.
Is that for real?
Now look at it. It'll loop.
Okay.
That's fucking good. That's really good. Took people too long to get that out, though.
So I'm coming along right here.
Wouldn't that have been the best?
So I'm coming along right here, and I look up on the TV, and there's literally up there, Chris Rock's brother wants to fight Will Smith. So that's what I walked in here seeing, remember? Recall? Then I sat down here, and I looked at this, and I was like, oh, my goodness.
You know what? That is funny as shit, man. I like the whole I want to fight him. Come on, dude. And Chris Rock's brother could probably do a celebrity boxing match and make himself some coin.
And different ways to fund a plan. They even have plans with lifetime benefits that pay you back if you never use it. Then when you're ready, 525 Advisors will design a custom plan with you. Just like they're doing for my husband and me right now.
That would be funny as shit.
It's not just me. Read the review.
So who believes that within the next 15 years, our energy problem will be solved by fusion reactors, which produce no chemical or biological or environmental toxins?
I'll say could be. I won't say will be.
I say there's no way.
I say
in the next 50 years?
Could be.
50 years.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Could
50
be.
maybe.
Could be.
That would solve everybody's problem.
I did the quote. Right now, if you load up nuclear, it's good.
But I think the only way it's actually going to change is if we figure out a different kind of way to be. Because greed is not going to allow anybody to make those kind of changes.
So you don't think that fusion reactors will solve a huge problem?
I think fusion reactors could solve the problem. But whether or not we implement something like that is the
There are no fusion reactors.
I'm just saying, within the next 50 years, I believe that will be a possibility. And there are no negative consequences of fusion reactors.
Well, if there aren't any fusion reactors, how do we know there's no negative consequences of a fusion reactor?
Well, because what does a fusion reactor do? It takes hydrogen to produce helium. That's it. The problem is that it takes an incredible amount of energy to do that, and we haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Smarty Marty, you have an update on the noisy fan. Let me explain this. A guy has a condo above the garage or a rental. It doesn't matter. He lives above it. The HOA says we're running the fans because of complaints of carbon monoxide smells. And he says they used to run the fans just a few minutes a day to exhaust and to clean the air. And now they're running them too many hours, and it's causing terrible vibration and noise in his apartment or in his condo. So what did you find out?
Well, during that conversation, Tom, he told me he's moving. He's in the process of moving anyway.
Yeah, so,
so he came to the conclusion it's going to be a waste of time, and he might tick off the wrong people, and by the time it gets to resolution, he's gone anyway. So he decided not to go through with me doing anything.
Okay.
Even though I'm willing to do it, but sometimes it's best, not to do anything. In this case, he decided it's not worth the trouble.
You know what? You're absolutely right. We don't have to waste your valuable time.
I mean, I've been through something like this, Tom, about a year ago with my HOA.
Yeah.
And you never want the president or the HOA to be upset with you, even if you're in the right. You just don't. So you'd rather them be on your side than not on your side. They have some of his money, and we don't know what they're going to do if they're upset with him. So he just lets sleeping dogs lie.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. 303.
Why didn't you tell us that from the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't tell us that from the beginning, but thank you, Smarty Marty. Again, we have learned a lot today on the show. One of the things I'd like to review is after you sell a car, after selling a car, you get out of liability, or one of the ways to get out of liability is to sign this document. And to have this document, it's called Release from Liability. And what it does, it has, oh, wait a minute. I release the following person from all claims liability as a result of the motor vehicle accident. Well, wait a minute. There has to be an accident. That's not what, that is not true. He said there was a release of liability that you signed with the state when you sell your car. But this is after an accident. So I don't see, no, this is not what I was thinking, and it's the one he told me to find. So nope, that is not what I was thinking. He said, and I'll look to see if we can find it, that there is a form that releases liability when you sell a car, and you both sign it. But I don't see one. Although it wouldn't be bad to have one signed saying I release the seller from all, and then you do it. But again, don't leave your license plate. Don't leave any stickers for tolls. Don't leave anything that would leave a trail back to you at all. That's just foolhardy. All right, you can call 303-MARTINO 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Also, referral